If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation.
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's Eerie.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Well, yee the fuck hi. Welcome everyone to News on the Flip Side. We got some weird going on with our thing again. You know, they've changed stuff around so much in StreamYard that when we're starting shows, it's getting odd and weird and strange.
I can't make it any bigger, dude.
It's on there somewhere. I'll find it in a little while. It's one of the ones that are buried somewhere. Maybe it's this one.
Oh, there we go.
It still ain't round, but still. Welcome everyone. Hey, Heidi, nice to see you down there.
Who moved it down there? How do you do that? I mean,
there's a little button somewhere on the side.
Oh, it must be that plus thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think that's the edit. No, here it is, right here. There's a little up and down arrow. It's next to the edit button. But anyway, guys, they keep changing stuff in here. It's so irritating when we're in the middle of a show. And it messes up because the flag's supposed to fill the whole thing up, but for some reason it's not on here, which
There
is a
is
very
two of
strange
those
thing.
in the background area.
It's and it might be the other one, but I don't know. But anyway, guys, if anybody in the anybody's on YouTube, do me a favor and drop the link down in the post comment thing. I want to pick it up on my phone. It's yeah, I want to pick up the link from YouTube on my phone so I can give it to somebody, because it won't. If I'm on my phone, I can't actually get a physical link for some reason. It doesn't actually give me one. Jay, there's an empty space up there if you need one or something. But anyway, guys and girls, if you're on Rumble on YouTube or on Facebook, welcome to the show. If you're listening to us on Roku, welcome to the show. We have a new Roku system coming pretty soon, so for y'all, I'll explain it when it gets time to.
My Roku anymore. It saddens me.
It's well, we're live on it. I see us all the time. Matter of fact, I can't get to it right now, but when we take a break, I'll set it up on the other screen. It's the only time I can find us is when we're live. I can't find us any other time.
Oh, yeah. So
if we're not live, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If we're not live, we're not on actually. So in the old days, we were. Now the new system's going to be a little bit different. There will be shows up there in the live mode, so you'll be able to see them. There'll also be shows up there when we're not in the live mode. There'll also be pay for listen up there, pay for view stuff up there as well. It's going to be a little bit more complicated than it is right now. The company we with just hooked us up with a live version of it, because the other company we were working was, how can I say this politely, a POS. And so they kept just downsizing our space and our bandwidth. They just kept getting lower and lower and lower. It started at 750, got us down to 250 does nothing for us. We have too many shows for that. At 1 week's worth of shows, we done took up that 250. So the new company's going to give us a terabyte, so it's going to be a little bit easier. We'll see how everything works out with that. Also, the Amazon stuff, the Fire Stick will probably be about a month after. As long as everything goes right with this company, with Roku, then you'll see Fire Stick within a month. So it should be interesting. But right now, we're only focusing on Roku. So if you're on a Roku system, they got a live section in there. Just hit live. There's also a search bar in there. You might want to use a search bar. I don't know how many. Roku's different. Sometimes they got 500 live shows. Sometimes they got 5. So it just depends on. It's a Friday night. I don't know how many's up there. I would use the search feature and say, hey, hi, I'm looking for Joe and Jay. Yes. The two assholes. Yes. The two assholios. Yes. And anyway, welcome to the show, guys and girls. Tonight, we're going to be talking a little bit about Epstein. Got a lot of ground to cover tonight. There's a lot of things to cover. We're short at least 2 hosts, so it makes it hard. By the way, guys and girls, if you're male, female, you got political experience, you want to join the team, you can write to anybody on the network, myself, Michelle, Jay, it doesn't matter. It'll eventually get to me anyway, so you can always do that. We are looking for staff. Sean's out tonight. He's on vacation. Something about some 6-foot Amazon. I don't know. I don't get into his stuff,
3 of them.
Yes, that's what he said. Amazon women.
It's just like the poor little French boy in that old French book. He gets 3 fights in a row. He has got a date at 1, a date at 12, at 12, 1, and 2 in the afternoon, and then we'll see if he survives.
Yes, that's what I'm wondering. Amazon, ooh man, he means all around Amazon too, so that could be just scary in itself. But again, welcome to News on the Flip Side, everybody. So we've been talking a lot about Epstein. Epstein's giving me a headache, really and truly. So I hear this, I hear that, I hear this. I keep hearing, oh, Trump, 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 Trump. All my liberal friends saying Trump, Trump, Trump. And I asked my liberal friends, I said, well, why aren't you concerned about Biden, Bill, and Obama? I'm like, if because we know they won the list for sure, or they won the plane list. We know Clinton was on the plane list 27 or 29 times. Obama was like 17 times. Biden was only mentioned 3 or 4 times, but they were all on the flight list that went to Epstein Island.
I'm interested in how many times Michael Obama was on that list.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of wondering about that myself. Christopher, actually, as far as I know, Trump was listed on that flight 1 time. It was him, his wife, and his 2 kids, so it doesn't sound like he was out perverting around. And remember this, Trump was the only one out of everybody we're talking about that said don't ever, he threw him. So Epstein had a place at Mar-a-Lago. Trump came home from one of these trips and said, get the fuck out. Don't ever fucking come back. If I ever see you here again, I'm going to have you arrested.
Wow.
Doesn't sound like some guy who was perverting around. Sounds like some guy who found out somebody was perverting around and said, "Get the fuck out." It's what it is. So let's look at this from a more logical point of view. So first thing you know, just before all this went down, the condos where he lived collapsed. Yes, no, still no today. No one's actually given a reason why this, where was it, Miami, somewhere in Florida, collapsed and killed a bunch of people. I mean, this was going on while people lived there. It just fucking collapsed. Well, he had a condo there that he used a lot. The FBI said nothing could be recovered. Everything was either crushed, damaged, or melted from the fire, which I believe that. I mean, you're talking about a building collapsed on it. So, all right, there goes a big source of his information. So the FBI raids 2 other places, not near as big or useful as much, comes out and says, okay, there were 4 or 5 computers, but all the hard drives were destroyed. So he said, looks like someone took a hammer to the hard drives. Also, there was a little fire pit inside both units where all the paper that was in the place was burned and destroyed. This is the FBI said this. So, okay. So at this point, there is no list. The only list is in his head. Then everybody starts telling me, oh, he's an Israeli spy. Now, I've met some people when I was in special forces, and they don't keep a list. It's dangerous to keep a list. If someone catches you and you got a list, then you just jeopardize all these other people. No good spy keeps a list. You don't remember back when what was his name? The guy who had the sex change, who reported on everybody. There was no actual list. It was just what he said he had read. Let's flip up to Snowden. Snowden, there was actually no list either. It was just what was in his head when he went to Russia. So this was all stuff that was written down later, and you could say it was a list, but it wasn't an actual list taken from the place. So here we are with Epstein. Really, truly, it does not look like there was a list. That's why he was killed. Okay. If there was a list, there would have been no reason to kill him. The only list that was in his head. That's why they killed him. Because he was the one who could flip it on everybody and tell him. So recently, they brought in, what's her name? Oh, come on, guys. What's her name? The Epstein's woman. Now I can't think of her name. But anyway, the DOJ asked to speak to her with 100 names involved. 100 names. Nobody knows what 100 names the DOJ is talking about, but they want to ask her questions about 100 names. Now, Fox the other day said that Bondi had told Trump to back off because he was a secret agent and his name was on the list. That's what Fox said. David Muir got on, what's he on CBS, ABC? I forget which one he's on. Got on, stopped his show in the middle of his show and said he was on the list. Okay, now there's no proof of this anywhere. There's no paper trail. So David may be losing his job. You would have thought Fox already has stopped talking about it because they're getting a suit out of him. And let's not forget, he's friends with the guy who owns Fox. And he's still suing the shit out of him. Because he had told them, no, it's not true. I'm not there. And boom. So he slapped a lawsuit on him.
Is that Rupert Murdoch? Because he's also
Rupert Murdoch.
In the Wall Street Journal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Rupert Murdoch.
It's not he's suing Murdoch, the Wall Street Journal, one other news entity, and 2 of their reporters.
Yep,
so
that's what he's doing.
Like 5 people involved or 5 entities involved.
So if you're guilty, you're not going to do that. Because if you lose, all that shit's going to come out. So the more you look at this, the more it looks like there wasn't actually a physical list. Probably the only list there is right now is in what's-her-face's head. I don't know why I can't think of her name. But she's being dragged in front of the DOJ pretty soon.
I'll bet there are some police agencies involved in this that have a list of people that they would like to talk to. So there's maybe that list and a list in that kind of respects.
But that's not going to do you any good. That's not a list that proves you were there. No. So now, and let's remember, people, not everybody who went to the island was a pervert. A lot of people went to this island. There was a lot of big parties there. A lot of these women were, adult age, and so this is why, what's her name? not Kamala Harris. Whoever the DOJ was for Biden said the reason they couldn't put the list out is there were a lot of innocent people on the list. That's what they said. That there were a lot of innocent people that, no, they couldn't put it out just because they were on a list. Didn't make them perverts, but it was going to ruin them anyway. It went, which is true. If you were on some list that would put you on Epstein's island, it's going to ruin you. Now, we know Bill Obama was there. Bill Obama. I had a new name for him. We know that Bill Clinton was there. He was on the flight list 27 times. But the flight list doesn't tell you where the plane actually went. It just says it was keyed up to leave and go here. It never actually puts the plane on the island. He owned other property besides this. So everybody's always key to talk about the island. But then again, there was a lot of other properties on this. So there have been no women that have come out and said that Donald Trump did anything to them on any Epstein island. And there's been a lot of women sue off that island. So you have to kind of wonder. And then there's no Democrat that put this list out. So let's look at this from a constructive point of view. How much shit was leaked on Donald Trump doing the 2016 thing? They said that was real, which, by the way, now we know is fake, but how much was leaked? I mean, Adam Shitty Schiff was on CNN every other day leaking this, leaking that, leaking this, leaking that. Tons and tons of stuff were leaked. Our government leaks like a sieve. But yet they had Donald Trump's name and it never got leaked. Bullshit. You're never going to convince me of that.
I guarantee you, if the Democrats had solid, hardcore, irrefutable evidence of any kind of crime that Trump did, it would be known and he'd be in jail for it.
And Trump's never said that he didn't know Epstein.
Yeah.
He said he just never did kids.
I mean,
if you go back and look at Trump's
shows like, American Top 40 and things like that, where people, Casey Kasem would have narrated it probably, where they show how all the celebrities are partying in West Hollywood. That's when Trump and Epstein were hanging out 30 some years ago.
Yeah. And remember, Trump threw Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago and told him never to come back or he would put him in prison. This is actually documented. Yeah. This was well documented. So what it says to me is one of these times Trump was talking to him, or one of the times he came to the Mar-a-Lago, he came with children. And Trump was like, no, fuck you, assholio. You're not doing that in my hotel. Get the fuck out of here. So
if Epstein had a room there, would he not have had a key and access anytime he wanted?
Yes, but he would still had to come, but he still would have had to get there.
With, several teenagers.
Yeah, well, he would have still had to get to the room because the place has cameras everywhere. I mean, the fucking place is cameraed out the yin-yang, the hallways, the elevators, the restaurants, everywhere.
Do you think if he lived there, he'd know how to bypass those?
There is no way to bypass them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there is.
So, no, when you walk in, you can see this from when he's there. When you walk in the door, there's 14 cameras before you get to the elevator. There's 2 in each elevator. When you get out of the elevator, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 in the hallway. There ain't no way to get around them. He designed it so nothing can go on in his hotel that he doesn't see. And that's why Epstein was thrown out, because he's seen it. Actually, probably one of his guards came up and said, hey, Mr. Trump, we got a problem. Take a look at this. Trump probably went immediately down there and said, get the fuck out of my property. Because that's what it looks like. They actually showed one of the videos when Trump is confronting Epstein, and it didn't look like a friendly little thing to me. It like get the fuck out of my hotel. But I didn't see anybody with Epstein. Doesn't mean they weren't there. They just didn't show it in the video. So that could be something they could subpoena, but being 13 years old, highly unlikely to have it.
Personal assistant, Ghislaine wouldn't have been much of a media buzz anyway. She was just his secretary or whatnot, or personal, his personal assistant, whatever you want to call her. But who else was he hanging out with? That's the only time he had cameras on him. Him by himself, the paparazzi couldn't give 2 shits about.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that he showed up with 2 underages, and that's what the rumor is, and that's why Trump threw him out the hotel. So now, according to, was it Melania or whoever it was? No, I don't even think it was Melania. I think it was the other wife. said she had never seen children anywhere around Epstein, which means they kept it away from the Trumps when they were there. They're not the only ones. There were other people who had went there and said they had never seen children, period. A lot of couples that went there. Is it true or not? That's taking people at their word. You can flip a coin on that one. I mean, really and truly, you can flip a coin. What is that, Chris? Well, that's the problem. There's no real evidence. So the only reason they even got who they got is because the girls came forward and said, you know, like Prince Andrew, they came forward, and that's going on. That's what went on. Well, Trump's suing some people right now on the internet because they put up a fake document in California, these 5 women that were paid off. The women already came forward and said it wasn't us. And I told everybody in the beginning, be careful with this. California, there would be around the official stamp on it. You know, this kind of raise up. So if it's any official court document, would have had that on. And where it says judges, there would have been a signature of the judge and the whatever they call the other person. None of that was on there. So people just took this. Somebody made a document, stuck it on the internet, had her asses in trouble. Matter of fact, I reported the one on Facebook. It's gone. They took it off because it's fake. You can't. This ain't the world where you're going to go around and ruin people because you think it's funny. We're not putting up with that. Nobody's putting up with that. What do you mean, Denise? Well, even if he's on, it wouldn't bother me any because I got to be honest with you. Trump just doesn't look like the kind of person who would do kids. You know, 20-year-olds, 28-year-olds. Oh, yeah, I don't think he'd have any problem with that.
Oh, yeah. I think over the age, you know, at least 18. It's legal in most states, even for pornography, it's legal. So,
but the problem for people don't realize is Trump has daughters. I just don't feel like he would be comfortable with that. Well, it doesn't matter, list or not list. You're going to never prove he was with a child. So it's a ridiculous argument to even try to go after him because you can't prove anything. And the fact that he threw Epstein out gives him more credibility than anybody else. The ones that you got to worry about is Bill Clinton 27 times on the plane. 27 times. 9 of which they know for sure the plane was going to the island. The rest are not even sure where the damn plane was going.
Well, I mean, that should be, you know, criminal right there. You have to have a destination.
Not if you're leaving the country.
Huh?
Not if you're leaving the country, you don't. All you have to do is have a flight list who's on your plane. You don't have to tell them where you're going. Because once you cross international law, our laws don't apply anymore.
Well,
I didn't make fucking rules.
That may be true, but they still have to have at least a flight plan to get out of the country.
Yeah, and all I said, we're going to be flying into the Atlantic, crossing the Atlantic Ocean. That's your flight plan. Or you could say, I'm going to Europe and take a left and not go to Europe. See, that's the problem with all of this is there's no real way of knowing. We noticed the people who went to the islands, at least some of them. Well, Janine, think of it this way. There's more than 1,000 people been to Epstein Island. You think they're all perverts? They're all pedophiles? Get the fuck out of here. Some of these people are upstanding people. They're not pedophiles. They just went to go party. And anything was going on with kids were not going on in the general population of the people who were there.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised it'd be a larger number than you'd really want to care to think about.
Well, I wouldn't argue with you about that because you're probably right. It's
and I'll bet you it's not just Democrats. I'll bet you there's a few key Republicans in there too.
But think about this. This is important, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody who's gotten in trouble in this country for pedophilia has been a Democrat, not a Republican. Let me tell you why, because Republicans are God's
in the 80s with the Senate, what do they call them, page boys or whatever, that whole
none of them were Republicans. That was all Democrats. And remember the 2 comedians that got in trouble? Democrats. The 3 big politicians? Democrats. It's
wow.
Well, Hillary once described it, when you talk about Bohemian Grove, there's no Republicans there. All liberals. They have another name for themselves, by the way. But yeah, if you're going to Bohemian Grove, you're not a Republican. You're not a conservative. most conservatives are God-fearing. That's what the real problem is. And they don't want to go to hell for doing something stupid. Oh, I'm not saying none of them have ever done it. Just they seem to be smarter than their other guys. Oh, there's got to be somebody that got caught. I mean, I'm sure if Jay and I really sat out and went through the internet, there's got to be somebody that got caught. And if you know somebody, feel free to send it to us. But so far, for the last decade, every time you look at a name, it's a Democrat. Like maybe Jay's right. Maybe if we go back to the 80s, that's 3 decades. Maybe we'll find someone back there. But remember what Ronald Reagan said about pedophilia. He thought you should be burned alive for it.
Ooh, wow. That's fairly harsh.
Yeah, well, that's what he figured it. His fucking, what's his name? Ford. Not Ford. Who was his VP said that you should be in prison for life. They don't sound like they were really into pedophilia.
No, that would have been Bush Senior.
Yeah. Bush don't look like the pedophile. Neither does his kid. They just don't feel like the right.
I bet as ex-head of the CIA, I'll bet Daddy Bush. I'll bet he knew quite a bit. I'll bet you if there was a list, he would have known who was on that Epstein list.
You bet your ass he did. They were probably all being filed. I think one of the problems for the Democrat is that they're the ones that were running around saying about, a lot of them were into that kitty worship, not so much sleeping with them, but killing them, drinking their blood.
I got a good one. One of the kids at work today brought up, and I didn't look at the tweets. We might have to go and try to find them, but I think they were tweets. If they were social media sent out by the official Democratic Party. And I don't remember exactly what he told me they said, but the essence of one of them was they tried to say that the economy is worse than it was during.
Oh yeah.
But they used the dates they used and the money and the percentages for the groceries and all they used were during Biden's administration. And then they had one other one that was also the same kind of anomaly. It was they were trying to blame something on Trump, but it was maybe under Barack Obama's administration. It's like,
yeah.
What does that prove? Did you guys, both of your presidents sucked, and then this guy doesn't? What are you trying to prove?
Well, they were talking about that. So one of them was about One of them was about the not the interest rates. The what was it? When
I guess.
But they talked about that. How much the groceries went up under them. But the not the interest rate, the other rate. What the hell do you call it? It's like 3% right now. It's
mortgage rate?
No, the one they've been talking about. It's the one that was spiking under Biden. It was up to like 7 or 8%. It was damn, I can't remember what it's called now. Ain't that a bitch? What happens when you get old, people?
Yeah, I'm at a loss too. I'm not recalling it either.
It's one of the ones that tells you how your money goes. It's 7%, 3%. The higher it is, the less money you have, the more things cost. Don't ask me, people. My brain is fried. Let's see. That'll come to me sooner or later. Colonel background checks for business outside. Let's see. Results can be trusted. I'm looking for how many conservatives have been arrested for pedophilia. So far, none. It's let's see here. See, and I asked specifically for conservatives. I'm scrolling down. First thing I see, Democratic leaders accused of protecting pedophiles. Oh wait, they're saying Speaker Johnson has protected people who have had pedophiles.
How many what? Say that again.
Speaker Johnson's been accused of helping pedophiles get away.
Wow.
Which of course there's no evidence of. And then you go down and it says, no, Johnson said that's not true. It's the Democrats who have been doing it on and on for at least 4 decades.
Here's a report from 2019. It says,
this is the hill.
90 state lawmakers have been accused of sexual misconduct. That's kind of
yes. That's a lot. That's a. I went to Hill, by the
Here's
way.
another one. March 24, 2025. 147 lawmakers in 44 states have been accused of sexual harassment or other such sexual misconducts.
So what I put in here is how many conservatives have been arrested for pedophilia or murder, and so far I can't find any.
March 3, 2023. At least 13 mayors were arrested on child sex-related crimes since 2021.
Doesn't even. I don't even doubt it even a little bit. So far, I have found none. Now these companies are saying, the ones that are saying no, this is The Hill, this is USA Today. They're saying that to help with this, that before you're allowed to become a politician, you should have a background check on you, a full, complete background check. And the further I go down, the more it switches over to Democrats. It's because you heard what I asked. I asked about conservatives being arrested for pedophilia, and it just switches to Democrats. I don't have any doubt. Okay, I don't have any doubt that there's been conservatives arrested for this. Not even a little bit. The problem is we seem to have a little issue finding their ass. And well, because there's so many Democrats have been accused of it that. But most of them do this, and it goes away. So you're a 13-year-old girl. He touches whatever. He comes to you and says, I'm going to give you $3 million and shut up. And you just shut up because you just got $3 million. You ain't going to get it no other way. I think that's just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be a lot of it.
That's almost like turning her into a prostitute by giving her
almost.
That,
Well, we're just fishing, guys. That's what we're doing right now. It just seems to be more Democrats. When you get into these, you don't know, you can't really tell unless there's been a deal cut, which the Democrats have cut a lot of deals in recent years. But it doesn't mean the Republicans haven't been doing it, that they've just been being more quiet about it or catching it before it gets into the press.
And we keep boasting, or maybe since it was sort of torturous, we keep saying how we've gone through various polls for the last 18, 19 months for the whole campaign. And even beyond that, we were doing polls. And some of the polls we've done just show that during the Democratic presidential administrations, the economy dips. And when there's a Republican administration in the presidency, the economy goes up. And the stats are there. We've looked at them for over a year. On this show and sometimes on others, but the trend shows that the Democrats typically destroy the economy when they come in for their 4 years or 8 years, and the Republicans have to come back and repair it, and they barely get it repaired for their 4 or 8 years before the Democrats come back in because they've occupied the presidency more than 70% over the last 20, 30 years. And so they just have fucked up our economy every time they get in there. And then they say that it's the Republicans that did it. The numbers don't show that. I'm sorry. But devout Republicans see it. The Democrats who are devout Democrats are like, oh, that's not true. It is true. Look at the polls. Everyone has a Google or YouTube or a Yahoo search or some kind of, look it up. We're not making this crap up. We pull up almost everything we tell you straight off the internet.
You see, when you hear Jay and I quoting something, first off, we don't even just use one source. We generally use multiple sources. So when we're doing polls, it's 18 to 30 sources. And we even use Democrat sources. You heard us bitching under Harris how many were converted to blue sources to make her numbers look better. But we still reported
it out that they took Joe Biden's numbers from the previous week when she announced she was taking over, and then superimposed her name on those they were the exact same numbers. I'm sorry, you don't just jump into a presidential election and have the exact same high numbers, incorrectly counted and tabulated high numbers that your predecessor and boss had just the prior week. It's just absolute bullshit.
Oh, Gaslin, thank you very much. So the point is, people, is we don't like to report news that we can't prove. So it's like David Muir the other night. He always makes me think of a cow shit for some reason. You're like, "Mrr." I'm sorry, it's not just bad on Joe's part.
Or a cow giving birth.
Yeah, that works for me too. But the problem is he stopped in the middle of a show to say Trump was on that list without any proof or evidence whatsoever.
I believe that's why he's suing the shit out of Murdoch and his news organizations.
So, and well, that's because a whole nother thing. But the thing of it is Trump's not playing anymore. If you want to say something that's legit, then he'll have to just bite it, because
I'm glad that one thing he's not doing that he said he was going to do was like throw everybody in jail, which is, I mean, the whole 4 or 5 years that he was, butthurt from the last election he lost.
Well, because in the last one, there was a lot of fake stuff being reported that wasn't real, wasn't coming. They were saying, it was leaked and we're using a leak, like the Russia thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times, ABC, NBC, NBS, BC, all of them were reporting supposable leaks. Well, now we know that wasn't true, even though we do know Obama should be in jail right now. We know a lot of those leaks weren't real. They were just being made up. And here's Adam Shitty Shift up there making them like they're real. Yeah, we got him by the nuts, man. He's going to jail. And now we know that Obama, they want to bring Obama up on charges. So Chelsea Gabbard has started releasing this information. These are real documents. These were in Obama's administration, not Trump's. So he's in deep shit over this. The problem is first off, how do you put a president in jail? Well, somebody said, he got all that immunity because of the Supreme Court. No, this was not inside of his normal duties as a president. Boom. So he's in trouble there. The biggest savior for him will be statute of limitations. But we've learned that through New York that the statute of limitations can be changed.
Yes.
So I'm going to tell you this. They may bring Obama in the court. They're not going to put him in jail. Now, though, somebody has to go to jail. So Brennan and Comey will probably end up in jail. I don't know if y'all remember this because some of y'all are young. Ollie North threw his self on the sword to save Ronald Reagan. I'm pretty sure that's what you're going to see with Brennan and Comey. They're going to have somebody. Yeah, somebody's got to go to jail over this, and you're going to see one of these two guys, or maybe both these guys, go to jail. But somebody's got to go. I mean, this was blatantly an attempted coup against a new president.
Sure they're going to try to keep Obama out of the court system because it could be proved, because there's some pretty staggering evidence that Barry Soetoro, which is his actual birth name, was born in Kenya. His mother swears to it that's where he was born.
Well, one of the things his lawyer said today is, you can't put him in jail. He's not from this country.
Well, if he's not from this country, what would you do? You deport his ass. But he's also.
You see Trump deporting Obama? Oh shit! I'd pay money to see that. I'm sorry,
that's
bad
what Trump would do. But his mother has adamantly stated that he was born in Kenya, A, and B, she's never been to Hawaii, which is where his birth certificate is from. So, and then
his birth certificate is actually from Connecticut.
No. The birth certificate is Hawaii. The Social Security card is from Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is right. I remember that now that you said that. I don't know, guys. It's getting stickier as it goes.
Kool-Aid, Dr. Jim. I'm sorry, but it's not working.
So one of the things they said, he couldn't be brought in, but then since Biden covered for him, the statute of limitations can be extended by at least 5 years. So yes, he's still in trouble. But I don't know, I don't even know if it's worth putting Obama in jail. It is worth putting Brennan in.
It's the auto pen or the fake, the president's digital signature to push some policy while Biden was in office.
Well, I think it's
treason, and he could be shot for that.
Yes. Well, see, yeah, what they say and what Obama did technically isn't treason, but guys, y'all need to read up on this stuff. So he didn't have any information when he ordered them to do oversight and then to investigate Trump and to put that's the reason they got the warrants from the Pfizer courts, is because of Obama. So now they're saying that he was like, we know he did this, so we need to tap his phones, tap his life, do everything. Okay, well, now we know they had no information whatsoever. And it does seem that he was working with Hillary Clinton to try to take an election away from a president. That's an attempted coup, people. I mean, you can be shot for that shit.
That's actual treason right there.
Yeah, so I don't know how that's going to work out, you know. And everybody's like, well, the thing of it is they say, oh, it's statute of limitation. Even with that, that ran in another 2 years out, so that went all the way to what 2020. This is only 2024. That's 5 years, but the evidence was found last year, so he's still eligible to go to jail. So it's not what they want to tell you it is. They're trying to tell you, oh, it's been 5 years. They're trying to go from 2016, but the election was 2020. And then there's a whole year in between that. So, yeah, no, it's 4 years now, not 5. So they don't want to count it right because they're scared for him. It is possible for him to go to jail. We're not going to put a president in jail, but we will put his buddies in jail, just like we did with Ronald Reagan or Nixon. We ain't going to put them in jail when we could have. We're going to put their buddies in jail, or we're going to make them step down. And since we can't make Obama step down, he's already down, then we got to go another route. Brennan's going to jail. Comey's probably going to jail. But they're going to go to some little hostile jail, you know. They can even have conjugal visits and shit. But they may do 5 or 10 years. It's and they're going to have a hard time because, like Obama's friend said today, they control the Supreme Court. You're not getting away with this. They'll change it if they have to. So, in the end, if I was Obama, I would just say, okay, look, this was the deal. This was what was going on. These were the guys that were working. You're going to have to sell out Brennan and Comey. There's actually 5 people involved in this, not including Hillary. We don't even know what they're thinking about doing with Hillary yet.
She'll do some time.
But when Chelsea Gabbard released the Obama documents, it screwed the world. I mean, they were, oh, it is break time, ain't it? Shit.
Just about, yep.
All right, well, it's over break. So we're going to go to break, guys and girls. We'll be back in about 8 minutes. Jay's going to put up a song. I'm going to put up some promos in a minute. You know
I got a song ready. You tell me when to hit play.
Go ahead. Cue it up, and I'll do the promos when you come back.
It's going now.
All right.
You learn it on the bass. We need more. Oh, wow.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fierster, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com.
The Power Agency is built for those who move like predators, decide like weapons, and execute like their life depends on it. You're either fully in, or you're invisible.
Well, welcome back, everyone. I don't know why this thing keeps changing. This thing, I'm gonna, StreamYard and I are about to have a little hissy fit together. But welcome to News on the Flipside. I hope everybody enjoyed the first hour. That thing blew through like it was nothing. I mean, there's a lot of data on Epstein, and we got into that. And now we're into the 2016 who lied, who told the truth. So thanks to several agencies now, we know for a fact that there was a lot of hooga booga going on in 2016. See, that was Trump's problem the first time. He had Comey in there. Well, Comey wasn't going to tell the truth. Comey was just as guilty as everybody else. All the agency had, these were people they told him to get. Well, this time he came in with his own people. That gave him the ability to start digging around and finding out what was actually going on. Now we found out there was a lot of bad stuff going on. Telsey's a busy little thing up there, and she keeps putting out data left and right. Pam Bondi's popping stuff all over the place. Your boy over the FBI is popping up stuff all over the place. There's a lot of guilt here to be dealt with, and they need to deal with it. They only got 4 years to deal with it, and they need to get it dealt with while they can. you know, why Obama decided to spy on Trump was beyond me. Why he decided to do anything against Trump was beyond me. I guess Hillary and then the Clintons came to him and said, look, Obama, we got the goods on you, boy. You better go ahead and do what we said. And, being Obama knew they had the goods on him, he went ahead and did it. It was a lot of corruption, a lot of crookedness, a lot of evilness. And the more you dig in, the worse it gets. I mean, I don't even know what to think about Obama. I'm not even sure what to think about Obama. And it's bad when his lawyers and his people start coming out and saying, hey, he's not going to jail. Oh, no, it's a statute of limitations up. No, man. They're scared. They're scared. And if there wasn't nothing there, they wouldn't be talking about it, would they? What are you talking about, Donnie? I mean, David Murray, I don't know if he was on today, and I know he should have never said that. You got to have proof. See, they're used to the old days. We just say whatever we want about Trump, and But guess what? That's not the old Trump. We got the new Trump. We got Trump 2.0, and Trump 2.0 is like a fuck are you, asshole, I will put you in jail. Oh, you're talking about what Jay said earlier? Well, he talked about putting a lot of reporters in. So Obama did two things more than any president in the history of the United States. He put more reporters in jail and kicked out more illegals than anybody. Well, he put a lot of reporters in jail. Oh, yes. He also put a lot of people inside of his organization that were leaking people. Because it got to a point with the Democrats, it's just whatever they did just got leaked. It was just given to the press. Well, just in case you know that people, that's treason. There's a lot of different things that turns out to be. But all of them you can go to prison for. As you've seen Obama start putting them in prison for. Because you can't leak top secret information. So with my clearance, if I was to go around and leak, they would fucking arrest me tomorrow. I'd never see daylight again. Yes, and they're not going to. You can't just leak information. It's just not how it works. There's nothing's leaking in Trump's administration, and they try to. But see, Trump, like I said earlier, Trump was smarter. We have Trump 2.0 now. Trump has really started looking around and saying, okay, this is what was going on. He brought his own people in. Everybody was bitching about the people he brought in, but he brought it. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Tulsi Gabbard was a Democrat who ran for president as a Democrat.
And kicked Kamala Harris's bony little ass.
Yeah. And now she's firmly planting her foot in the Democrats' ass. Hey, Mish, how you doing? No, I didn't see Eugene up there, but really and truly, at this point, they're in deep shit. Kash Patel is up to FBI's ass so far they don't know what to do with him. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people in there were lying and working for these other. Well, come on, we already busted. What was his name? The one that was talking with his girlfriend back and forth, and they were talking about how they were going after Trump and doing this with Trump and all that. I mean, it's disgusting that they were getting away with this stuff. Well, now they're not going to let them get away with it anymore. They've had it. And it should have never allowed to be gotten away with whatever party you were. Okay, justice is just justice. And if you're not going to do it, you shouldn't be in the job's position anyway. I mean, look at Comey. Comey said all kind of shit about Trump, wrote a whole book and shit. And guess what? We found out he was lying through his ass.
A politician lying through his ass? I can't.
Well, yeah. But he's FBI, man. FBI shouldn't be lying. I mean, come on.
Well, is it a government agency? Yes or no?
Mitch, be careful. It is a government agency. I'm not going to argue with you about that. It's
Denise, some of those government agents and agencies are programmed to lie.
No, Denise, we're going to talk about that later in the show. You're talking about the Chinese spies. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. But we're going to get into that a little later on. But I don't know what to tell y'all. Obama was just evil.
Well,
he was doing stuff that he shouldn't have been doing. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Let me ask you a question, because we did step on this a few minutes ago. What if it came out as hardcore, irrefutable, 100% solid evidence that Obama not only wasn't he born in this country, but doesn't have a birth certificate or a social security number? What does that do to all the stuff that he did while he was presidency? Does that automatically get negated, and does he go to jail and get shot on a firing squad?
I'm pretty sure it negates everything he did.
Yeah, and I think it takes him to what's that what's the military jail where you break rocks? It's in
Oh, I know
Tennessee.
what you're talking about. Yeah, well, in his case, they'll probably put him in
That's where it would take
Guantanamo.
place. They would take him to that military prison and shoot him by firing squad.
If we ever find out if he wasn't born in the United States, but you know what? That's iffy skiffy because his mom still was a legal resident of the United States, was legally born here. So I know if you're military and you're overseas and you're born overseas, you're still considered an American citizen.
That doesn't explain a Hawaii birth certificate and a Connecticut.
Oh, no, there's a lot of funny monkey business went on there. Doesn't explain the birth certificate out of Africa. It doesn't explain a lot of things. And so the thing of it is more than likely Trump was right on it. Every time they tell Trump he's wrong, we find out he's right. And this lady was bitching at me the other day about, he said they were eating cats. Well, guess what? They were. And they arrested the lady who was doing it and got it on videotape. So in the end, he was vindicated. No, not every illegal were eating cats, but this one was for sure. So the story that was originally reported turned out to be true. And then they said, they weren't gangs going through the apartment complex. Oh, shit.
Yes, there were.
There were lots of gangs going through. And all of that was vindicated.
Well,
So,
I think what was disputed was not only that they took it up, that they attacked it, but that they had also wrested control of at least one apartment building, the entire building. They had
control. They did.
So that's messed up. And then the Democrats wanted to say, no, that didn't happen. Well, I was watching live feeds from whatever city that was, Minnesota or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember. I was watching live feeds while these criminals were literally like military 2 by 2 going apartment to apartment and like either shooting people or taking them out physically and violently until they took over the whole goddamn building.
Yeah, so this is the one right here. Let me see if I can find it.
Video evidence is really hard to refute.
I don't care about any of this. Get off of my system. This is not something I care about. I don't care who you are. Okay. David Muir halts ABC News program for breaking news announcement about Trump Epstein files.
What's that?
David Muir took fans by surprise on Thursday, July 24th, and halted his ABC World News Tonight with breaking news: Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein files. The 51-year-old said that Wall Street Journal is now reporting that Attorney General Pam Bondi and her deputy told President Trump back in May that his name appeared on the list. First off, that doesn't mean anything. But how do they know that? Do they have the data? So he's reporting from another news outlet who is being sued. I mean, what the fuck was he thinking? Muir pointed out that the previous comment Trump said that ABC News anchor Kathleen Falder just this week prior when President denied that the Attorney General told him this. So now he's reporting on the story that had already been talked about where the president has already denied it, and he stopped his show to report it. You're screwed, David. You screwed the pooch, buddy. I hope you like being up, in the ass when you get in prison, because you screwed the pooch. I don't even know what to think about him. You're pointed out previous comment Trump had said at ABC News anchor Kathleen that it wasn't true. He denied that the Attorney General told him that. Trump family members revealed that the latest chilling symptom. Oh, no. Oh, and wait. And then he's going to say that some family member revealed that he has cognitive decline and that he's foregone. I mean, what does David want to read it, lose his job? I mean, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. Do you remember Jimmy the Greek?
Yeah.
Jimmy the Greek was a fantastic. He was replaced because of his size and the way he was enthusiastic about the game. Jimmy the Greek was replaced with John Madden. Jimmy the Greek was fired from his position because he answered a question why most of the black football players were taller and stronger and faster than most of the white football players. And he said the reason was during slave years, the slave owners would generally breed the strongest with the strongest, and that therefore they became, much more natural athletes than white people. It's not untrue. It is an absolute 100% fact that that's what, slave owners did. Yet that got him fired. He didn't use, there were no racial slurs. He just absolutely, like, out of a history book, said what actually happened in history.
So then it says before handling the matter, what was it? Matter to Mary Bruce, he said tonight the Republican-led House Oversight Committee, Jeffrey Epstein's former Maxwell, who of course is serving 20 years. That's a low sentence for all that shit she supposedly did. Bruce then went more in the topic and more in depth, saying alleged reason that the Attorney General told Trump they were planning on not releasing the files was because they contained child pornography and personal information about the victims. Well, that might be a good reason not to release them. The president's previous statement, Bruce, was the rerun allowing viewers to see him say no, no, no when asked. So these are idiots. So there's a Wall Street Journal being sued. The reporter revealed Bondi had finally given a reason to why the files haven't taken disclosure. She never said Trump was in any of the files. Oh man, y'all screwed the pooch, dude. Yep, y'all have. Then Bruce went to shed Trump and Epstein friendly past. Yeah, they had passed. So did a lot of people. And it always amazes me that they show this with Trump, and they never take the time to go back and show Bill Clinton or Barack Obama or any of the other people that they hang out with. I mean, always showing Trump and Diddy. Trump didn't know all this was going on. You're going to have to prove he knew that. You're not going to be able to. Number one, because fucking Epstein's dead. And Maxwell's not going to say anything.
He's
man.
Smart.
But that's why Pam Bondi said nothing's going to be released, is because what they do have has people's names, and it shows pornography. She didn't say anything about Trump being on the list whatsoever.
No, and
in any of this entire conversation, she didn't.
What did she get exactly? She didn't get sent to jail for having a list. She went to jail for assisting Epstein in finding, collecting, and abusing underage girls.
Yes.
That's exactly what she went to jail for.
Oh, man. So I don't know. We're going to see how this works out. Let me see. Let me check this out. Trump reportedly planning on suing ABC and David Muir. Claims about ABC whistleblower affidavit shared without what affidavit? Anybody can make a piece of paper. See, that's the problem today. Anybody can fake anything. But the problem is there is no piece of paper. They're just saying there is. If there actually was, it would be posted every news agency everywhere. Claims about ABC whistleblower and affidavit allegedly debate bias lacks evidence. Their own ABC's whistleblower says this. It lacks evidence of any kind. Rumors are swirling along the ABC News whistleblower claiming the network colluded with Kamala Harris's presidential. Oh, Jesus. They're getting in more trouble as they go. They're saying this was a revenge thing from David. Oh, fuck. He's done. I'm just reading the articles, people. Don't get mad at me. ABC didn't fire Harris-Trump debate. What? They don't care about that. That's old stuff. ABC's ever made most emotional admission as he's oh shit. So he's thinking he's getting fired. Been different. He said it used to be different that we could just talk about these things. So he's done realize he's fucked up, people. David has realized that he may have cost ABC and himself a job. Well, see, and that's the problem with these fucking stories. We're going to get these stories, and then we're going to have to listen to this crap, and it turns out there's no evidence whatsoever. So what you would have needed is you would have needed the piece of paper that went from Bondi to her person to Trump. I don't even know how you would have got that. I would imagine if Trump got it, would have been destroyed. And let me tell you what, these ain't fuckheads. If Bondi catches anybody leaking anything out of the Justice Department, guess where you're going? Straight to fucking jail. And if you work for the FBI and you're leaking anything, guess where you're going? Kash Patel's already said that. He said there is no second chances. If you get caught leaking, you're going straight to jail. He said you don't care if it's real or fake, you're going to jail.
Wow.
So I noticed that the FBI got a lot tighter now. They don't leak near as much as they used to. Hey, people, we're not making this shit up. We're just reading the articles off of ABC.
Have you noticed, though, that the 3-letter alphabet soup professional law enforcement agencies throughout the country have become very, very less efficient since 9/11?
Yes, but I think you're going to see that change with the new
Forced to
people.
share information with the other alphabet soup organizations. I think their efficiency has dropped 70 or 80%.
Yeah, but I think you're going to see that change now. You can already tell. Look at the stuff coming out just from Chelsea and from what's his name, Cash. They've already tripled the amount of information coming out. So I think they're much more into what's going on, and I don't think they're sharing like they used to. I think they're telling everybody, "Fuck you." And I said, we don't need to share unless there's a problem.
Yeah.
So I forgot how it works now. So in the old days, there was no sharing.
It sounds like that we're talking about, and it sounds very, and it sounds like it's a bad thing on Trump's end too. If there's corruption and fraud, especially with what Doge found, and they're not going to take any action, as in like legal action, getting these.
Oh no, they're taking legal action.
Yeah, but I'm not seeing anything. It's not in the news. You're not hearing about it. What's going on with it? If they're not going to do that, that's basically like collusion, and
No.
the Trump administration could
First
be
off, Trump has fired how many people? Some things he can't do anything but fire him, and that's what he's done. He's removed. So look at NPR and PBS. The people that were the problem are gone. He's fired them. The people inside the government that were causing all these problems, the ones that were paying $5 million overseas to get some condoms or 10 million seeds to watch somebody jerk off, they're gone. And they still might be legal actions come against him because of the money. But right now, his job is just getting rid of them.
Jesus Christ. What is,
But I think right now he's more worried about getting rid of them. So there's not a problem with the next administration. I think that's all he's worried about is just getting rid of them. And he's got rid of a lot, and he's still going to get rid of a lot more. He's firing almost half of everybody who works for the Fed. Get the fuck out. Don't fucking come back. I mean, when you go, I was watching a lady from NPR talking to Congress a couple of weeks ago. We didn't do anything wrong. And the Congress lady says, so, well, we're bipartisan, right? Oh, yeah. So she starts playing shit from NPR. And she said, you think that's bipartisan? Oh, yes. And she said, you're fucking fired. She said, you're fucking fired. Get the fuck out of here. You're not coming back. You're fucking fired. And and that's what they've been doing. They bringing them in saying, hey, do you think this is bipartisan? I mean, come on, PBS. How do you fuck up PBS?
You make it partisan.
So now all them people are being fired. What they're saying is look, now what Trump's got to watch for is not making him swing the other one. He needs NPR needs true bipartisan, or it just needs to be closed. I don't know if they can do that or not. I know our network's going to apply for a public broadcast with them because we can be bipartisan. But I don't know if NPR will ever be. I mean, there's still a lot of shows on there that are definitely lefty shows.
My friend in college listened to nothing but. I mean, we worked together for
a lot of people listen to nothing but. I mean,
that's all he would listen to in his car all the way to and from work was NPR. And
if you're listening to NPR, you're being brainwashed. I've listened to him many times, and I've gotten big fights with him.
Within the 30-minute drive we had from Wilmington Island to the downtown Savannah, Georgia, where we lived, you'd hear the same stories at least 3 times in that 30-minute drive.
Oh yeah, that's what they are. So like RNO. I mean, not RNO. Which one it is? Oh, I can't think. But anyway, one of the stations in town. Well, actually, RNO is pretty conservative, actually, but the other one is kind of both. So you listen to the guy Tommy Tucker in the morning. He's talking. he's doing local stuff. He's pretty in the middle. He's not really. And then all of a sudden you hear Scoot come on. He's so fucking left. He sounds like he's sucking Hillary's ass. And then later on you'll hear another guy come on. He's conservative. So at least they're trying. You know, so and we have a lot of liberals on the network. We don't have any news liberals on the network, but we have centrists, which is better. You know, because we're on both sides. We're like, fuck you, fuck you. You know, as a matter of fact, I was picking on somebody earlier today. I said, man, I was love picking on them Republicans for about 8 years. I said, then you fucking liberals just went stupid and just made it so easy to pick on y'all. And that's what they've done. They you know what happened? And I always tell this to people. You can never believe your own press. If you do, you're doomed. And that's what happened to the Democrats. They started believing they were untouchable. They were the shit. Everything they said was right. They've lost pretty much all the young people in the country. They've just lost them. They're gone. And when you look at the counties in the United States, it's what, 85% red, 90% red. And you're going to see even more red coming in the next election because they've doubled down on the policies that got them thrown out. It just tells you they're not listening at all. And that's why so many people are leaving the Democrat Party. So they showed the fundraising today for the Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans are sitting at 80 million. The Democrats are sitting at 8. So then the Democrats, the other tried, they said 77% of our people are going to show out. So I sent them the latest CNN and MSNBC poll, which shows 18 and 28%. And I said, and that's where you stand there thinks you can do something. That don't mean they're coming out. They just think that. I said, I doubt they're even going to come out. I said, you are looking at losing so many seats in this next election that it's not even funny. I said, we haven't seen the one party hang on to the House in a midterm election in a long time. I think you got to go back to Reagan.
It probably won't happen, but what if it was all voted out to be all Republican? In one or both houses.
Well, you know what might happen is you might see 61 in the Senate, which gives him complete control, and you might see maybe 300 in the House, which gives him complete control, which means they can do whatever. You think they're doing shit now? Oh no, they'll be able to do more stuff than you can. And as long as they don't fuck up, people will keep voting that way. Anytime you see as large a black swing and large Hispanic swing as you have towards one party, you've got a problem. And what I've noticed more now on places like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram is blacks coming out and talking, wait, we've been lied to. So the guy gets on today, he said, every piece of legislature that's ever been signed to get freedom to us was by the Republicans, and it's true. He said Jim Crow was Democrats. KKK was Democrats. He said, when you really look at it and see and he's actually telling the honest truth, every piece of legislature that's ever been signed and passed to help blacks were by the Republicans. All that tells me is the Democrats had better speakers than somebody on the black side wasn't paying attention. Well, guess what? The blacks are challenging it now. And they're not calling themselves African Americans anymore. They're calling themselves American, which is something I've been bitching about for 3 decades. I don't call myself Italian American or French American or dickhead American. I just call myself American. And that's what we are. We're Americans. It don't matter what your heritage was. And if you feel you need to, then you can say I'm American of African descent. But you're not African American. That's putting that away. If that's how you feel, go home. You know, same thing for anyone. If you call yourself Italian American, take your ass back to Italy. Because you're not. You're an American with Italian descent. And that's what it really is. So now we just all call ourselves Americans because that's what the fuck we are. You're not hearing the Hispanics saying that. You're not hearing the blacks saying it anymore. The hardest part for the blacks is they're going to take more black men this time, probably over 50%, maybe 55% of the black men, maybe even more. It's going to be switching the women around. And I have noticed the younger women under the age of 30 look like they're going to vote Republican. I mean, black women, they're going to look like they're going to vote Republican. They're just losing. The NAACP is having a shit fit because they're a liberal organization, and that's something else they're bitching about. Blacks are bitching about the NAACP. They're just all liberal. Where's the conservatives? So if you've seen a big switch like that, Hispanics are doing the same thing. Israelis who have voted Democrat since they came here are all switching. I mean, anytime you take almost 90 counties out of all the counties in our country, there's a fucking problem. So the only thing I can really find voting for Democrats right now is older black women, older Hispanic women, and women and men from Ivy League colleges. That is not enough to get you in a presidency or even get you any major states. You may start losing states over this. I mean, New York was much closer than it should have been with 45%. California was 40%. I mean, that's a big switch. And I think if a good Republican ran for governor in California right now, I think they could take it. Oh, by the way, Kamala Harris's mentor told her not to run for governor of California. She would make an ass out of herself.
I thought she'd already done that.
He said that she should not be involved in any type of politics. She should stay what she's good at in law enforcement and stay out of politics. That's her really mentor.
I mean, she basically railroaded a bunch of people as a police officer. I think her best bet would be to be a inspirational speaker and speak at women's college commencement speeches.
Yes, retire is what I think.
That's her job. You know, make $1,000 per commencement speech and sit down and shut the fuck up. Oh, pardon my French.
Well, I mean, she's like, I'm Kamala Harris. What the fuck is she? I never even know what she's saying most of the time.
Yeah, half the time. I mean, we go off on tangents, but at least our tangents come back to the root.
Yeah, to what we're talking about.
Her tangents, she's like, she's out in left field by the time the rest of us are already back home watching our, evening news.
She's a mess. Well, people, it looks like David Muir might lose his job.
Oh, I guarantee.
They're definitely going to get the shit suit out of him. It's ABC. So when you go back to Rupert.
Oh, Trump might be trying to corner the National Broadcasting Television Network.
It's funny you said that because there's an article saying watch Trump might take all of these agencies over and sell them to his buddies.
Or maybe he'd
keep it. I didn't realize how much of these fucking places Rupert Murdoch owned besides Fox.
Oh my God, yeah.
He
what else are the other ones? God, Fox.
I know he owns like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's not free news. That's bullshit news. But at least he goes both ways.
We watch on national broadcast television and Hollywood are controlled by about 3 or 4 large conglomerate companies that, I mean, it's disgusting. That's why we don't have any good news.
Now that's being drug out into public, so we're going to see how it's going. Hey, Amelia, what you doing, sweetie? That's going to be drug out into public. Oh, God. Canada is a libtard. It's a good thing I know there's people up there and not. I'd be really worried. The state of the libtards. What's that, Jack? We're talking about Canada. Excuse me. So, I mean, we really ran Epstein down pretty hard today. So, and Jay and I got y'all in a position where you can look at Epstein a little differently and think, hey, this might not be what we were told it was.
He's a cool dude, it seems. Yeah.
So, and I don't think what they call a list is the list we're thinking about. No, I think they're only talking about a list of people who had been affected, not who actually done it. Yeah, so I don't know how that was. And then, of course, we've brought you all the way up to where we are now with NPR, PBS, and, well, now David Muir. I mean, it's looking bad for the Democrats in all points.
And the fake media is going to be, significantly less rich in the next coming months.
And Trump's saying, or the people for Trump are saying, he could end up with $100 billion out of all 5 of these agencies he's suing. I don't think it'll be that. I think he'll get $50 million from each one of the not the broadcasters, but the hosts, which bankrupts them. And he might get a 50 or 100 million from each one of the broadcasters, which is like chump change.
I would not be surprised if he wants to be acquiring an entire broadcast network all to himself.
Well, he can't because he's president, so he can't do it. His kid could, though.
Yeah.
He could push ABC hard enough that somebody in his family could buy ABC.
Yeah.
And that'll be just a suck, Trump's ass network is what that'll be. Fox used to be that, but Fox has changed a lot.
Fox is getting more democratic. The wave is flipping, I don't know.
Well, it looks like Rupert's had some issues with the Democrats. I mean, with the Republicans. Yeah, because I'm listening to a lot of their shows now. A lot of times I see a lot of Democratic shit on it. I still see a lot of Republican stuff on it. And they still got big names like Sean Hannity and stuff like that, who are, their biggest names they got. Their top 5 shows are all Republican shows.
Yeah.
But that don't mean they're not changing. They're definitely changing.
Well, how often do you hear Sean Hannity and what's his name Combs coming out? How many times do you hear about their opinions anymore? I don't. You used to hear them all over the place, but now you don't.
They're pretty much all over the place around down here. So pretty much from the middle of the country all the way across from one side to the other, that's all you hear about. And they're on pretty much every conservative radio station in the country. And I didn't know this, but there are far more conservative radio stations than there are liberals.
Huh.
So the liberals got the TV networks, but the conservatives got the radio networks, which have more listeners. I didn't know that. I found out a couple of years ago. I was like, wow, really? It was kind of a thing. What do you mean bedtime snack pizza? No.
Dunkin' Donuts.
You can't be eating no pizza for no bedtime snacks. Not unless you're sending me some. Yes. Oh yeah, I did hear that Hillary looks like she might be having a breakdown because Hillary's thinking she's going to jail. That's why. Having a breakdown keeps her out of jail. At least that's what she thinks.
Well, maybe she panics enough and spits out the wrong info and she gets herself arrested for it.
Maybe she flips.
Yeah.
That might be what she does. Well, I know one of her friends came out, or one of her lawyers came out and said, well, I don't know how they can go after it's this, that, and the other thing, but some laws, like I forgot what it was, but some of the rules, like treason and a couple of the other ones, don't have a statute of limitations.
Yeah.
So they can always go after that. And what she did with sending that stupid report to the FBI, and that's the other problem. The Steele report was brought to Obama. All of the agencies said it was crap, and he said to go ahead and run with it. So I thought it was the FBI that said to go ahead and run with it. Now we found that it was Obama himself.
Yeah.
That's how they did all those illegal taps. Think about how many times they tapped Trump and still didn't get anything. It's got to be amazing how much money they spent on trying to catch this guy, and there wasn't nothing to catch.
They're still trying.
Of course they are, because he's changing the world. He's changing our country and the world. Yeah, she should go to jail for fucking Benghazi. We bitched about that every time we got on air.
Mm-hmm.
That's long before we could have put our pretty faces on air. But now they can see the fear and our anger, you fucking idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Pal talk. Oh, you know what? Where is it? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, I didn't have it on my screen, people. Calm your asses down. It's no, we pretty much went through Epstein pretty good. So for me, and I can't speak for Jay, but for me, it's looking more and more like the original list was destroyed. So we know, I think Amelia probably remembers this when the building collapsed in Florida, and they say most of his data was destroyed there, like 90%. And then the FBI raided the other 2 places, and they said they really didn't recover anything because the hard drives had been smashed. And you know what? And Maxwell's, I guess, Gazelle's, is that how you say it? Her hard drives were also smashed too. So they knew this was coming ahead of time. Somebody tipped them off, and they destroyed all the real evidence, which nobody knows what the hell that is. Nobody knows who was on those lists, who was not. But Gazelle is still alive, and she's got whatever's in her head. But can you take that as real? I mean, now she can just say, hey, that one was there, this one was there, that one was there, and do you really know?
I'm really surprised she hasn't cried out for, witness protection.
Well, I was amazed she only got 20 years, which means she flipped on something.
Yeah,
helping the
possibly.
pedophile get away with all that pedophilia. I mean, you should have got life imprisonment, but you only got 20,
or even the death sentence, depending on where she's convicted at.
which means she can be out in 15. You know, it's a federal penitentiary sentence, right? If it's state, she can be out sooner, but if it's the Fed, they got to do 2/3. So she could be out in 15. No, that's what I heard. She was a groomer, so she'd have got long. She should have got longer, but I don't know. Something. She did something there, and that was under Obama. I mean, not Obama, under Biden. So what went on there? Maybe she said she saved Obama and. Oh, speaking of this, completely a different subject for a minute. So Michelle says on her podcast the other day that she told Obama he didn't think he had a fucking chance in hell of ever being president. He was discussing his presidential ambitions with her, and she told him she didn't think he had a fucking chance in hell. Yeah, that's a nice wife. She could have lied to him, but he did get it after all.
Well, and then the other funny thing about that is right after he got in there, I forget, what was he a senator for? A year, 2 years, 5 months?
No, he wasn't. He was a senator for less than 6 months.
Less than 6 months. Okay.
So he was a junior senator. And get this.
Everybody said he was a great senator. How? He quit.
He never voted one time, not once.
Yeah, and he quit 6 months in. How is that a great senator?
Yeah, well, you know. So, and then he became, well, you know, they said, okay, he's been a senator. Well, not really. But yeah, he's the black guy. We got to put a black guy up there. Democrats going to put a black guy up there. And the majority of people who voted for him voted for him because he was black, not because he was smart or not because he had done anything. I mean, think of this. He is the poorest president in the history of the United States, the poorest person to run for president in the history of the United States, ever in the history of the United States. I mean, he wasn't even a millionaire. Not even. And he got to run for president. I don't know how that worked out. Used presidents are at least millionaires. They need to have some understanding of how money works to be president. But
also, I mean, he was a complete joke. The first, like Amelia says about Michelle down here, oppressed. She wasn't oppressed. She was an idiot. When her first speech to America, the very first sentence out of her mouth is, "America, your children are fat." That is the first sentence out of her.
Yeah, the whole audience should have stood up and went, "Boo! You're fat too, bitch."
Everybody should have booed her off the stage. But then also, he was a great statesman. Obama was not a great statesman.
He was a good community organizer. He knew how to talk to people.
He was a good community organizer, and that's it. And he was a terrible lawyer, and so was Michelle or Michael Obama, because guess what? They both voluntarily turned in their licenses to practice law in furtherance of not being investigated for ethics violations. So that's very, very significant.
I heard Trudeau just today, talking about how Canadians are going to keep hating on Americans. They're going to keep not going on vacation here and not doing this and not doing this. So I wrote a real friendly thing. I said, look, Mr. Trudeau, I said, first off, you're not even prime minister. So you shut the fuck up. But more importantly, he said, well, we're not hating on you. We're not hating on the citizens. We're hating on the government. You fucking asshole. The government is us. So if you're not buying in Florida and you're not buying for here, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're hating on us. I said, you're the dumbest motherfucker I've ever met. I said, do you realize if you piss off the citizens of this country against your country, you're fucked? I said, we'll get behind the president and let him just ram it up your ass till you can't walk. I said, stop doing harm to the citizens of your country. You know what you need to do. Go talk to the prime minister and make him understand he's fixing to bankrupt his fucking country because he's a dumbass. Trump don't care. They don't get it. Our country is worth $38 trillion. We don't give a good fucking. He don't understand that. And the more he hates on American citizens, the more it's going to turn on Canada. I just don't understand how stupid you can be. I mean, Britain's already cut a deal. The EU right now is 50-50. I was listening to the report today. It's 50-50. Canada is like 10% chance. We're going to send y'all to go live with the fucking Mexicans. We're just going to come out and clean out your country and send y'all to live with Mexicans, and maybe over to Greenland or something. and use all that land for solar panels or something. I mean, come on. I have a lot of friends in Canada. I mean, a lot. My station manager lives there. My good friend Amelia lives there. There's a whole host of friends. I got at least 30 friends up there. And I don't like seeing them getting hurt because people like Trudeau are just, how can I say this politely, a fucking dumbass.
Complete idiot.
And this other guy, but half of this is Trump's fault. But the other guy is, oh my God. I mean, come on. Much a wow smarter than that motherfucker. But how much is he worth now to
Who, Carney? I have no idea.
Yeah, well, she was just saying Trudeau was worth $300 million, and he only started with 42. I have no idea what Carney's worth, but I know he's connected with all kind of other shit. I don't know what they're gonna do. America just don't care anymore.
But
It's
isn't
starting
it
to
kind of
bother me.
illegal for these guys to be making that kind of money off of that kind of a public office like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's got to change. I mean, it's got to change. We can't bankrupt one of our favorite countries, and that's where this is headed. This is headed for Canadian bankruptcy. And the bad part is the government knows this, but they shouldn't care. I was listening to their prime minister speak the other day.
On purpose so that England is more prone to giving it to us as a territory.
Maybe so. I know the prince said when he becomes king, he was considering handing Canada over to the States. Yes, for $1 trillion, he wants to give us Canada, and boy, would that piss off some Canadians. Jesus, now we have a revolution on our hands. Oh man. They want to. Well, he wants to. He's talked about this many times.
Philip will.
He thinks, he said, this is what his exact words was. And he was talking with with the British Prime Minister at the time. He said he thinks Canada should belong to the United States because we already protect it, and most of its economy is based on ours. He said that there's no real reason to keep them anymore because it's just a drain on the Brits, his words. And the prime minister agreed with him. And then when the word 1 trillion came up, both their eyes lit up like cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Uh-huh. And well, the other funny thing is even if, let's just say, a what if scenario, even if England decided they wanted to come over here and invade and take it by force, with our bases we have spread throughout there to protect it, they would lose.
Well, that's what they're saying, though. It's costing the United States a lot of money to protect Canada. So now they're talking about either Canada
needs a lot of taxes. It doesn't do anything.
Well, now they're saying that if Canada wants to get free military, they need to be part of the United States. And I'm thinking that Brits are kind of with that. Well, we were talking about this just recently. The world has to start uniting somewhere. It might as well be with Canada and the United States. That makes us the largest, most powerful nation in the world by far.
How far away is it from us, absorbing Mexico? Soon after that? Simultaneous? You know what?
No, not as long as that bitch is down there. She ain't letting us. We'd have to go down and take them over by force.
Would
be another Mexican.
What would that take? 2 hours? 15 minutes? I don't know.
Probably. Because that's another country we protect out of habit. It's North America should have been one country a long time ago. Let's be honest about this. We should have been one country a long time ago. It's better for all three countries all the way around because first off, the taxes in Canada would go down by about 35-40%. The taxes in Mexico would go down about the same. They wouldn't have to worry about paying for military because the U.S. would
across the United States of America would go down significantly. We have all these extra people there. You don't have to charge, 38.
And they get their vote in every election except for the president.
Yeah.
They're not. Nobody's getting to vote for president except if you live in this country. It's one of those things. Jesus, 42%, girl. You'd be paying about 18%. You'd be having shit. Emily'd be doing Amelia'd be doing backflips. She'd be doing backflips all over.
We're paying, upwards of, somewhere between 36 and 38% income tax. So
Well, for me, I pay. So Mississippi don't have a state tax; they're doing away with it. Florida's already done away with their state tax. The president's talking about doing away with income tax. So no, not really. We'd be paying about 14 to 16%. It would be good for everybody. We'd come up there and take all that nasty, funky crude oil they got in the ground down there, and they wouldn't have to worry about that nasty shit anymore. We've already got a military all over Canada, so it doesn't really, spread out all over the place. So I don't know. I think for Canada, it would be a much better deal. I think for a country, they would get a much better price. Not just that, the price of their groceries would drop by 50%. They already try to come across, because of the tariffs, they can't right now, but they were already coming across buying their groceries in the United States already. So, and even
especially those border cities, absolutely.
Yeah, man. So it would help Canada out a lot. Yes, my Canadian friends, even my stupid liberal friends up there, you would be better off if you were under the flag. And we'd let you keep your flag. Yeah, well, sort of. It'd have to be under the US flag. It'd be a commonwealth, and we'd split it up. Each province would be its own commonwealth. No, I was talking about for our groceries, not yours. It's but yeah, each commonwealth would be each territory would be a commonwealth. Eventually, some of those would even be split in half. Well, statehood's not easy. So if you look at Puerto Rico, they're a commonwealth. Actually, there are 6 commonwealths, I think. They have to meet certain criteria to become a state. So Puerto Rico can do everything but vote in the presidential election. Yes. They're not allowed to vote in the presidential election. Other than that, they can do everything any other American citizen can do. And when their country gets blown to shit by a hurricane, we go down there and take care of it because they're still one of ours. What the hell? Oh, I couldn't even get that out there. LGBTQ. Oh, no, Jesus, it's too much. No, we're not flying that flag. You can keep that freaking flag. It would be a U.S. flag and then a Canadian flag. In the provinces that wanted to fly the Canadian flag, not all your provinces would want to fly it. So 2 or 3 of your provinces would just fly the U.S. flag, and some of the other ones would fly both. Personally, I wouldn't care either way. You can fly the damn flag, any flag you want, but it would be better financially, physically, healthier for everybody involved if y'all were part of the United States. It would just be a better deal for everybody. Besides, y'all have so much land to manage with so few people. You have less people in California and more land than anybody but Russia. And look at Russia. They can't even manage all their land, and they got 187 million people.
I think the last time we looked that up, the state of California, just if you were like...
It was really close, yeah. It was really close.
It fits within the borders of Russia.
Which
still, it fills it up. It doesn't quite, go to the edges and all, but it takes a significant amount. So that... California.
If you combine United States and Canada, we'd be bigger than Russia, not by much, but population wise, California and Canada. It's funny though. California's economy is bigger than Russia's.
Yeah.
Shit, California's economy is bigger than Canada's.
Yeah.
And it's one state, so look at the wealth you could have. There's a lot of good stuff in Canada that could be made and put into a lot of good things. Just as long as they don't go put them fucking windmills and solar panels all over the place.
Yeah.
Really. What's that, Jack? No, I'm tired of seeing them ugly, nasty things. Look, we're going to have... Damn, Canada's only got 37 million people. Shit. I thought y'all had more than that. No, really, I thought y'all had more than that. That's kind of crazy. I don't know. Let's see what Cali's got. Whoops, I hit the wrong button there or something. Oh, cap locks is what I did. It's let me go to California thing. Why won't you let me do California? Whoops. No, we don't. Oh, there it is, California.
It is almost break time. Are you trying to put
Yeah,
them up?
so California is 39 million, Canada's 37 million.
Population wise.
Yeah, population wise, yeah.
Yeah. But
Population wise.
income, I think I forget what Canada is, but California's annual income is around 400 million.
Yeah, they're the fifth largest income in the world. That's what they are. California is.
That's a significant number.
Yeah, fifth largest. So now, if you take away if you took all of our U.S. military bases out of there and took all the money we give them and shit, it would be significant smaller. But still, it would probably be in the top 10.
The population of Canada is 42 million.
I know. When I said it said 37 million. Don't hate on me. I'm just reading the freaking stupid thing off the thing.
Yeah, it's still though very close as far as population wise goes.
That said from the 24th to 2024. That's what y'all's y'all been losing a lot of population lately, honey. Some of you been moving to the United States and said, get the fuck out of here.
Saw the writing on the wall.
So wait a minute. So I'm listening to Trudeau today going on and on about how Florida is the most visited state from Canada. I'm like, really? I was having a hard time with that. I don't, I mean, New York's up there. You got a whole bunch of states along the border. But he kept going on and on about how many people go to Florida, I'm thinking people go to Florida and don't come back. I'm thinking they're staying. They're saying, fuck you people, we're staying down here where it's warm, man. See, that's what happened. They get down there, it's all warm and stuff. They're like, man, it's warm down here. There's no snow down here. Oh, shit. They ain't even no ice, man. What the fuck?
Let me dip my toe in this water. Boom. You just became, Everglades snacks.
It's too much. It's funny for me. Oh, man. That's Trudeau's numbers, baby. That's all. What's that, Georgie? We're getting ready to go to break, and then we'll be back. Yeah, we got to go to break real quick. Yes. Hey, Mark. How you doing, man? It's
hey, Mark.
It's no. It's well, when we come back, we actually got some other stuff we got to get into. We really spent way too much time on the Epstein and Mueller and stuff.
But there is a lot there, so
there is a lot, and there was a lot. And when we come back, tomorrow, it's harder to talk about it because we really like to have more fun on the chat. Epstein's not fun to talk about. I mean, we might talk about it a little bit, but now next week we'll be into it again because we have other stuff that we have to cover. But there was a lot of Epstein stuff. There's a lot of stuff. I got links that I got from Amelia earlier and stuff from Amelia, Michelle, and then from other people. And then we cover a lot of different stuff. Well, a lot of people send me stuff. And then we've got all the MS in links, the China. When we get back, we're going to talk about China's with China stealing. How's that? Anyway, Jay, take us to break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes, people.
All right, let me get over there and hit the go button. Well, there's no static at all. Wrong button. Dan.
I haven't heard Steely Dan in a while, man. It's been, I don't know, it's been a long time for some reason. I don't know what that is. What's that, Jesse? No, we're going to come back real fast because we got some links we need to get through, including why China loves us so much. Yes. No, we got a few of them. They've been caught stealing technology twice now. And the second time, it technically is considered an act of war, so I'm not sure what Trump's going to do about it yet. Well, they've been caught stealing missile technology. Yes, Chinese American citizens have been caught stealing missile technology and sending it back to China. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it's worse. They've been caught stealing stealth technology off of our planes.
Oh, yeah, that's not cool.
So Trump considers that an act of war. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to deal with that yet, but it is considered an act of war. You can't steal our technologies, especially those
having to go on a top secret military base and steal technology off of one of our planes.
Yeah, so I mean, we can see that serious stuff. But we'll run through them. Wait, let me go find. Wait, what was this one? Whoa, man, stuff flying all over the place. Hubble snaps photo of interstellar invader. So we know that came through, or is coming through. I love these scientists. It could be from another thing. We know it's from another place. Our question is the damn thing? Is it some kind of technology, or is it just a rock coming through space? Navy plane for the next generation fighter. What's this? I didn't even see this one. Okay, yeah. It's not that cool. Let's get right on there. Let's just X that out of there. So, where's it at? Oh, wait, here you go. Elon Musk killed Starlink over the Ukraine, hurting a counteroffensive against Russia.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh. Why'd he do that? Did Trump call him and tell him to do that? Oh, man, what is that? He said reportedly ordered Starlink communication shut down over parts of the Ukraine during... Oh, this was in 2022. Who gives a shit in 2022? Elon, you can bite my righty. Oh, here we go. The new F-47. Look at this beast. Let me put this on the screen. Where's the screen?
Get that out of there. Ka-tunk.
Yeah, let me go. Let me find this. Wrong one, Joseph. I keep wanting the one that sends out to people. I keep wanting to use it. Okay, let's go take a look at this beastie aircraft. Let me go find out where we were. Yeah, there it is. Okay. This thing is a beast, man. Look at this thing. I wonder if I can make it bigger. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Does it have vectored thrust just like the other?
Oh, it's supposed to be much more beastified. It's, but this still ain't the one that goes to space. See, I'm confused about that. I know we're supposed to be building one that goes to space. March 2025, U.S. government announced it will be working on next-generation fighter jet. The joint illustrations rank F-47. Country already owns a few jets. Wait, what do you mean we already own a few jets? Whoa. Let's wait. What? Something's confusing here. Already owns a few jets, counted among the most advanced and fastest fighter jets known to man. F-35 Lightning II. And the F-22 Raptor. Boy, they always throw that Raptor in there, don't they? Because the Raptor's a beast. Why we didn't make more of these fuckers is beyond me. But I know in the early days they called the Raptor the Widowmaker, so maybe that's why. They said it had
left and right, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was killing people left and right. It was a beast. However, that doesn't mean innovation's daring. So showcase F-35, F-22, blah 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 blah. Yet define roles combat, which suggests the F-47 will have its own specialized role in the field currently. Oh, see, that's what I wanted to hear. So it's not going to be, it's going to be different than these two. They're not even talking about where it's being built. Let me see if there's anything else down here. Oh, well, look at this. Look at this beast of a plane. Ooh, that's going to kill some planes.
P-51. No, it's a P-47.
I'm sorry, people. That was out of line. Well, they said that they'd already given the F-47 a name, but I don't see it on here anywhere. Yeah, how in the hell they come up? Oh, the Thunderbolt. Oh,
Yeah,
no. That's the plane we just looked at below us. Yeah, so it's going to be the Thunderbolt. It's also named after the P-47 Thunderbolt. So it's going to be named after. Oh, wait, this one says it's going to be called the Juggernaut. Well, I guess we're going to find out. It looks like a beast.
Does it have a rail gun on it?
I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's got two intakes. So I wonder if it's got dual engines.
And it looks like
it has Raptor does.
Looks like it has a collapsible pilot ladder sticking out. Or is that part of the landing gear? I can't really tell.
I don't know. I see it's got pins in all over the place, which means it's operational.
Yeah.
See all these red tags? That's pins being stuck in. So the plane just don't look at the tail fins on this bitch. I don't know, people. This thing looks like a Widowmaker in itself. And
well, it's also got a giant going around the engine bells.
It's it definitely got vectoring on it. See, when we talk about just vectoring, people, that means our jets can go up and push their ass straight up and down, which allows them to just bend back over and drop in behind a jet and wipe it out. Even though it don't need to do that, it's got missiles that'll do it for it. They just like to be able to do it. But Jay and I are looking for the one. There's supposed to be one like this that goes into space.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they won't let us see that one. And yes, we know it got its name. We were just reading about it got its name. Thank you very much. We don't really care that it got its name. Dream Chaser. Now this is the hold on. How long is this? We got time now, but maybe so. Let me pull this up right quick. This is NASA's new thing. Damn it, if I click that one again, I'm going to throw it off the damn screen. Yeah, this is the Dream Chaser. This is NASA's, whatever this is that NASA has.
Oh.
Okay, this is supposed to be their new shuttle, basically.
It looks like the A1 landing shuttle or landing tester that guy crashed in the desert that they used for $6 million man. It looks exactly like
it does. It does look like it. What they call a full body. Oh man, I forgot the name.
It was the I think it was the A2 lifting wing.
Let's see what they got to say.
Something to that effect.
HL-20. The original HL-20 was designed as a complement to the space shuttle.
Yeah.
It could transport people and small amounts of cargo and act as a rescue vehicle if needed. It could be used to service satellites for observation missions. The idea of a space taxi stalled, however, and the HL-20 project was canceled. NASA moved on to other pursuits. The craft was warehoused where it remained collecting dust for 20 years. Years later, with renewed interest in developing an alternative to the space shuttle,
we're going to yank out a
Sierra
20-year-old
Nevada
plane.
Corporation was looking for an idea for a space taxi system.
I remember
and looked to the HL-20 as a viable answer. The HL-20's history of being the most extensively tested and reviewed vehicle was a good choice to build upon. By
Cox
what the
Business
fuck?
Fiber Internet delivers upload speeds
Oh,
just as
fuck
fast
Cox.
as your download speeds. For just $50 a month,
Cox
get
sucks,
Cox
people.
Business
Don't get
Fiber
Cox. The
Internet
worst thing you
and
could ever
a
get,
$100
people. Don't
Cox
get
Business
Cox.
prepaid
Yeah, Cox,
MasterCard.
don't jump up on our show and I won't
Fiber
cuss you. How's
availability
that?
2004, Dream Chaser was being redeveloped and prepared as a candidate for NASA's Commercial Orbital Transportation Services Program,
And they
or
redesigned it.
COTS. By August 2012, after extensive testing and redevelopment, the Sierra Nevada Corporation was awarded $212.5 million to continue work on the Dream Chaser. Dream Chaser is a reusable transportation spacecraft designed to carry from 2 to 7 people and or cargo to orbital destinations such as the International Space Station, where it can remain docked for 210 days. It has the capability of delivering crew and cargo to other orbiting destinations as well, or function as a short-term independent orbiting laboratory for government agencies or commercial entities, as well as potential orbital space tourism. It has a built-in launch escape system and can fly by itself if needed. The vehicle is able to return from space by gliding and landing on any airport runway that handles commercial air traffic. Astronauts will experience less than 1.5 G upon re-entry, as compared to the space shuttle's 3 G. Its reaction control system thrusters burn ethanol-based fuel, which is not an explosively volatile material, allowing the craft to be handled immediately after landing, unlike the space shuttle. Dream Chaser is smaller than the original space shuttle. The space shuttle stood 121.5 feet tall and 78 feet wide, whereas the Dream Chaser stands 29.5 feet tall and 23.5 feet wide. It is a fraction of the size of the space shuttle and could, with its wings folded, fit inside the cargo bay of the shuttle. Unlike solid rockets, Dream Chaser's hybrid fuel system allows the motor to stop and start repeatedly and be throttleable. On-orbit propulsion is a hybrid system fueled with hydroxyl-terminated polybutadiene, HTPB, and nitrous oxide, or as some call it, rubber and laughing gas. These elements are non-toxic and easy to store and are safer than liquid rocket fuels. Its heat shield tiles can be replaced as a large group rather than tile by tile. Dream Chaser can use any suitable launch vehicle, but is slated to be launched atop an Atlas V 402 rocket. SNC is one of 3 companies funded under NASA's CCI-CAP initiative to develop a next-generation crew transportation vehicle.
So I'm wondering if this thing can let missiles out.
Why not? You could adapt it for sure.
That was a railgun we just seen. Where'd that go?
This is Joette, who loved the dog sitting company.
Oh, wait, what was this thing with the flag on it? Oh, that's F-35. I don't know, Peter. There's a lot of stuff going on that we're just going through. There y'all go. Trump administration releases billions of dollars for the educational in federal education. So he already said that he wanted the states to do it. He just needed to know how much money to give. Now he does, and now he's putting it out. So he really doesn't want the to run our schools anymore. Which I don't blame him. They suck. What we got here? Asteroid that will spare Earth might hit the moon instead.
Oh, shit.
Well, just go on. Hit the moon. As long as you don't fracture the moon, we're okay. What we got here? What was this one? Oh, this was the David Muir took fans by surprise. Right there. Muir, you've been taken by surprise, haven't you? Just got probed right up the ass. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, here's Jay's favorite person. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is Sean's favorite person. Health ethics panels tells Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez you have to pay more money for the Met Gala attendance. Oh, shit. I think they're going to try to bankrupt her. I think that's what they're going to do. Beloved Mexican chain faces federal FDA ban on multiple menu items. This is interesting to me because what was that? So we're coming down on Mexico and making them change how they give us stuff. And all the deals that Trump made with the EU, for selling them stuff, we've had to upgrade ours. So, like just to put it as an instance, Bluebell will no longer be putting any type of artificial dyes in their food anymore. Our chicken and beef that we're sending to Europe has to be treated differently. So Europe is helping us get healthier. Thank you, Europe. I want to say thank you for that.
Finally.
It's kind of nice that since we're sending it to y'all. So these kind of deals are helping both countries. They're getting cheaper prices and we're getting healthier food. I like that all the way around. You can't really lose and stuff like that. Kirby, they're doing that because we're making deals with them, and they want it, and we want it, and everybody's got to get along.
Well, no, there was also, I think on not Live Now Fox the other day, they had a story about I forget what you call it, Surgeon General of the United States was talking about that the fact of the trend was that eventually they're going to try to cut out certain food dyes, like RD40 and all these other weird, numbered colored food dyes. And I think that's a fantastic thing. But I think also the trend is that there's going to be less processed food in this country than there is now.
Yeah, which is a good thing. So we know the dyes is working because now that ice cream companies are already changing it. So this is one thing that's working along. What is this one we have up here? Let me go find it right quick. Where was it? There it was. Let's hit play. Don't be
hard it is to introduce a new aircraft in service. Well, if you don't, let's say it together in 3 minutes.
Well, I want to see this plane that was just up here.
Why is the Russian guy revealing our secret plane?
First deliveries to the first units are ready. At this point, an immense amount of work has been already done, but this is a subject for a different video. The first units of the aircraft are usually some test and development units. For a new aircraft,
like
there's only
space
a
plane.
limited number of pilots that could train other pilots, and the entire training syllabus needs to be designed. Basically, the aircraft manuals have to be written, and not just how to fly it. That is probably the simple part, how to use it as a weapon. Also, the ground engineers need to be trained, and they have to write their manuals too. And in general, the first group of pilots and engineers become the trainers of the other pilots and the other engineers.
Let us see the damn plane, asshole.
Cox Business Connect with Ring Central
I mean,
streamlines
really.
your business
Fox,
with all-in-one communications platform.
Cox, come on. You want to talk nothing but
Business
shit about
fiber
your game.
internet
Don't
for
be
just
popping up while we're in
$35
the
a
middle.
month when you bundle with Ring
Put a
Central.
skip mode on
Fiber
your damn
availability
commercial.
limited in select areas.
Large-scale deployment, a specific training unit is set up.
Okay,
For example, a famous and successful one was the Tornado Training Establishment. Engineers that actually work on the Panavia Tornado. NATO countries often exchange and consolidate this kind of facilities. But training, albeit fundamentally, is not everything. Need to be acquired or adapted, and there is other new equipment in there. If new weapons come with the aircraft,
You're not going to show me this
that is a
aircraft, are you?
program
You're just
not
pissing
too
me off.
dissimilar from the aircraft itself. Modern smart weapons are complex, and they do require a specific know-how to be used and maintained. Something crucial, nothing
If you know my
happens.
word,
And
my
helping
nerves.
that, there is an immense, in general, look on the videos that
Right, you're a dick, dude. That's all I got to say about it. He's a dick. There, no, that ain't it.
The F-35 Lightning is the most controversial.
Bree runs a furniture store and knows you have to be comfortable with who you hire.
And expensive weapons program in history. A fighter which had to replace several legendary airframes. It has been asked to do everything. However, during its long development cycle, the Lightning has been plagued by cost overruns, delays, and unforeseen requirements since its beginnings as the Joint Strike Fighter in the
So that's
90s.
the same one they got on.
But what
the,
if there's a twist in this
A10?
high-stakes tale? What if a groundbreaking
20mm
innovation
cannon.
could
Yeah.
transform the F-35 from a symbol of costly ambition to a beacon of military efficiency and power? Let's take a look at some collaborative combat aircraft, or CCAs, that could turn the Lightning into a force multiplier to make the jet cost-effective, and why it's the next step in the NGAD program. Today, the Air Force is looking to add at least 1,000 CCAs to its inventory.
Wow.
These autonomous or drone aircraft will work closely together with crewed combat jets like the F-35 Lightning, B-21 Raider, and the NGAD fighter. If you
Look at the
recall,
NGAD fighter.
NGAD stands for Next Generation Air Dominance. And along with building a 6th-generation
That
fighter,
looks like that one off of the
autonomous
Fox
drones
show.
like the CCAs are also a part of the NGAD initiative. Financially, the need for drones that can team up with crewed jets makes sense. Today, the F-35A Lightning is about $80 million a copy, while the NGAD fighter and B-21 Raider are slated to cost over $100 million each. Not to mention the time and cost it takes to train a pilot to fly these airframes. More on that later. The CCA solution is an attempt to create what the Air Force calls an affordable mass. This does not mean that the drones are throwaway or expendable, rather that they could incur acceptable losses and still allow the USAF to complete its mission. The
Cox Business Connect with Ring
I don't know.
Central
They look kind of
streamlines your business.
beastified. We're moving on, but they look kind of beastified.
Yeah.
Trump was whining because he won this 6-3 Supreme Court winning about what was this one about throwing him out of the country?
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's been all kinds of backlash about that. Was it Is it Rubio? I think the guy from Florida. Or was it DeSantis? I forget the guy's last name. But he was talking today about all of that, and he said, quite frankly, all of the people here in Alcatraz have had their due process. So everyone who's out there whining, oh, they're not being due process correctly. These people have had their due process. They're all on final order to be departed from the country. Which and all of their relatives are all saying the same thing. They have credentials to be here in the country, fake credentials, because they've already gone through their criminal processes and they are getting kicked out. It's the law.
Sure.
That's what happens.
It's the law. So China's struggling economy. Now I said this in 2016 when Trump got in, he was going to set China back, is what he did. And I said when he gets back in 2020, he was going to set China back, which he did. China, Xi Jinping's a nice guy. He's pretty smart. When it comes to economics, he's not near as smart as Trump is. Earlier when I was trying to tell you the number was inflation is what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. It just popped in my head, an hour and a half later. But anyway, China is having a hard time. The U.S. is steadily building up, and China is having a seriously hard time. I'm not exactly sure if he's going to be able to pull it out. They say he's been disappearing a lot and reappearing. Everybody's kind of worried about what's going on, like he might, like something bad might happen to him. No, they're worried, because
Xi Jinping is doing that too, because that's what the guy in Iran is doing, is disappearing, and then he come out and speak, then he disappear for days and days.
Oh, speaking of that, Russia just sent a satellite for Iran today. Launch that bitch into space.
They sent a satellite for Iran?
Yeah, if I ran. Russia, you're a pig. Personally, if it was up to me, I would wipe you off the face of the planet, Mr. Putin. You should be glad that it ain't up to me. All of a sudden, one day you'd open your eyes and there'd be 28,000 planes flying across your country. You ain't going to launch no nukes because we're going to shoot the fuckers down. You ain't going to launch any own planes because we're going to shoot the fuckers down. You're not going to get anything off the ground because we're going to shoot the fuckers down. I really think it's time. I mean, we've let Russia become ignorant. And we have the ability not just to take them out, but to take their nuclear arsenal out. The only nuclear arsenal we really got to worry about is what's on their ships and their subs. And the ships are pretty much going to be doomed from day one.
We know where all of your submarines are, Mr.
We're going to track you down
all
you subs.
Oh, hey, I don't forget if I ever mentioned this in the show, but on the same lines, oh God. It just yes, okay. So the French Prime Minister, idiot, is going to. This is a G7 country, people. Is going to recognize Palestine as a legal country state, meaning he's going to verify that Hamas is a legitimate government instead of a terrorist organization.
He's not going to be able to because Trump ain't going to let him. He's going to be like, "Screw you, buddy. We don't care." Hamas is trying to cut a deal with Trump, but Trump wants him out of Palestine. That's the deal. He wants him out of Palestine. He really wants everybody out of Palestine. They're saying it's unsafe to live there.
Including Palestine, yeah.
Yeah, he said, he wants everybody out. He said it's unsafe to live there. It's time to rebuild the city, turn it around, and then decide who's going to get to come back. He said Palestine is not a legit nation. It's not going to be a legit nation, and we're not going to allow it to be a legit nation. So, yeah, I mean, they're like, screw you. France, Egon, whatever his name is, you know what it is. He still ain't got over his wife bitch slapping him. That's what it is. He's still having problems with, oh, my wife slapped me and I had tears, and oh my God, the camera got me. Yes, if he is a man, I'm not even sure that's what he is. Francis, no, we don't really care. And if you French people actually like this guy, there is something wrong with you people. I mean, I used to like the French, but you know what? Ever since that episode with the Perrier water, I don't know if y'all are worth liking anymore. It might just be time to wipe you from the face of the planet and give your country to somebody. You know what? Maybe we'll let the Palestinians come live with you. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Let Hamas and the Palestinians come live with you in your country, and that way they're out of Israel's country, and we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, and get back to us and tell us how you like having your women and children raped in the streets.
Yeah, tell us about it.
Or they don't have
when they go blowing up your places to eat your little croissants and shit. Tell us all about it. I'm just. It just gets disgusting sometimes, and
well, the fact is, and it keeps happening, and our governments keep making the same stupid mistake. First of all, they're going against our number one rule, which is no negotiations with terrorist organizations. We are negotiating with the terrorist organization who keeps stringing us along. And I forget what the guy said exactly on the news today, but it seems like Hamas doesn't really give a shit about the ceasefire at all. They just want to try to keep it going, so they can get some of their secret missions accomplished. While there's scrutiny with this ceasefire, they're trying to do some kind of subterfuge so they can avoid being seen with our top secret, spy organizations. Get something done. It's whatever it is that they're doing. It needs to stop. And the negotiations, they should end. And Trump should go, look, let our people go, and if they're not here by noon tomorrow, you're dead. I mean, that's the end.
I say it is the end of it. Science Journal pulled a controversial study about a bizarre life form against the author's wishes.
What?
That's what it says. Microscopic discovery in a California lake sparked a buzz. Okay, and they pulled it. You can't. I don't know. It bugs me. Oh wait, what's this? Donald Trump and Elon Musk bizarre bromance just took another unexpected turn. I can just imagine what the fuck it is now. Come on.
If it's the two of them shirtless on a horse with Putin riding closely behind him.
You know what? Don't scare me like that, Jay. That's just don't scare me like that, man. Let's see. Awkward praise to public spats. What? And another dramatic twist after high-profile fallout in June. Musk suddenly stepped down from his controversial post. We already know all of that. From Doge, because they won't do their jobs. Musk has mainly taken aim at Trump. We know that. Earlier this week, reports sacrificed that Trump's administration explored alternative contractors for the Golden Dome missile defense. Potentially sidelining Musk's SpaceX. Ooh, you better get back to sucking. You know what, Elon, because you're about to lose a big contract.
Another one, yeah.
Yes,
he's gonna cut off all your arms.
Taking away. So, if he gets the right deal, he'll still get it. So wait, what's it saying? Adding another twist to the roller coaster relationship. Trump claimed earlier this month that Musk may get more subsidy than any human being on history. So he's sidelining him on the Golden Dome, but going to give him money for other stuff. Okay. I'm just going to leave that alone. And here's this one. Why China's stolen stealth fighter is problematic. Why China's stolen stealth fighter is... Wait, they stole the fighter? Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is too long to put on, but we're going to have to save this for tomorrow. If they stole the fighter, we're going to war.
Who didn't know what?
It says why China's stolen stealth fighter is problematic.
Well, I mean, like you said, it's an
Why
active war.
the West should not underestimate China's stealth fighter. We're not underestimating it. We just don't think it's an F-35. So they asked Putin what he thought America's most dangerous fighter was, and he said the F-22. He said we're scared shitless of that thing. He said if you ask my pilots, they said we don't want to fly in America. They got the F-22 there. They're not really scared of the F-35, but they're scared of the F-22. They're like, oh no, we don't want to play with them. But they are talking about like the new 47 and a couple other ones we have coming out. I'm gonna have to read up on this because I can't believe that we stole it. They stole a fighter from us, we're going to war. If we stole a fighter from them, well, we're not going to war. We may have stole one from them just to see what it all has. Let me save that article for tomorrow. That was this one. U.S. Chinese caught stealing top secret American missile technology for China. These are U.S. Chinese citizens got caught stealing top secret American missile technology for China. You're going to get your head chopped off. Yes, you're dying. And we're going to ask China politely to come back. Now, China and its effing flying car shit, they still don't understand flying car has to have wheels.
Yeah, if it doesn't have wheels, it's not a car.
You know, they're trying to get there. I see some badass stuff they're making. They made one that was it looked like a cookie with wheels on it. It was stupid looking. They got some cool looking stuff, but I'm just like, China, you still ain't grabbing it. I mean, you got to get it's got to ride, you know. NASA is watching a huge anomaly growing in the Earth's magnetic field. What the fuck is that? It's a big red thing, whatever it is. Well, no, people, we short on time. We can't. So some of this stuff we'll get into tomorrow. But what do you mean? You know, if China stole one of our jets, we'd already be over there blowing the living shit out of them. I mean, let me just tell you that now. Or whoever gave it to them, we'd be blowing the shit out of them. The Air Force Y-23 Black Widow 2 fighter strategic blunder. Uh-oh.
No, the Y-23 became the SR-71.
They're not. Oh, did you hear that a Russian MiG caught up with a Blackbird today?
No.
Yeah, raining right up on his ass.
Damn.
MiG must have been putting along. You better do Mach 6, man. You ain't catching that motherfucker. Your hypersonic missiles ain't catching that motherfucker. I just ain't believing that. When I read it, I was kind of like, well, that's pretty fast. Maybe coming head on it. Let's see. Key points. The U.S. Air Force made a strategic blunder in 1991 by choosing the YF-22 over the more advanced YF-23 prototype. I've never even heard of these planes. The Black Widow 2 still haunts the U.S. Air Force.
The pictures, they should be the exact same thing as the SR-71 Blackbird, with maybe some.
Well, they're not. They look like some flat-ass airplane. I'll post it up there. Let me grab it up here. Where is it at? I mean, some of these things you just got to go, what the fuck? There it is. Okay. Okay, I think that one's the 23. Can you see it? Yeah, let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, I'll go a little bit bigger. So I think that's the 23. That's the one they should have went after.
Does it have the specs?
It says ARFY 23 Black Widow 2 fighter strategic blunder. So what the hell? The U.S. Air Force made a strategic blunder in 1991. I've never even seen this jet before. The FY-22 over the more advanced FY-23 prototype. The FY-23 was more futuristic design. Yeah, did everything better. Stealth speed, range needed for modern.
These aren't those planes. Hold on a second.
Yeah, see, this looks like the F-22 is what they seem like they're talking about. Yeah, they should have went with the F-22. There ain't no doubt about that. I don't get this. I'm trying to read through it, but it
was the A-12. I'm sorry. The A-12 was the
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, what is this day? Projects have Blue Lockheed first stealth fighter. Lockheed makes better planes than the other one does, but I'm not going to hate. The F-35 is a piece of junk, but if y'all love it, y'all love it. First, I don't like any one engine jet. You know, because when you're in combat and somebody's shooting at your ass and somebody takes out your engine, it's nice to have another one. As the Warthog has proved many times, as the F4 has proved, as the Tomcat has proved, as the F-15 Eagle has proved, the Phantom has proved, better to have two engines, people. Do you know what the F-35 could do if it had two engines? The fucking thing would be doing Mach 4.
Yeah.
You'd never catch it. And it would, I don't know what to even say about stuff like that. I'm sorry, you bunch of idiots in Pal Talk. I know I didn't take no questions from y'all tonight. Well, we got into a lot of stuff, and it was more give you the information than it was. What are you talking about? We don't know what we talk. Well, if you don't have to listen to us. No, you're not hurting my feelings any.
Reading for
don't let the door hit you in the ass. I mean, you're not going to hurt our feelings any. The F-22 is the most advanced aircraft the United States has ever built. The F-35 is basically a shitty copy of it.
Piece of junk, yeah.
So in a dogfight, so they proved this in a dogfight, the F-22 kills the F-35 every time. Every time.
But some of them have been converted for aircraft carrier use.
Yeah, they have finally converted. Well, they did two. I noticed they did two things. They did the Harrier style for the Marines, so they just, and they did the hook for the Navy. I don't know why they didn't just land it like that for the Navy too, but they did the hook for the Navy. I'm sure maybe some of them are, but they're the F-35Bs, I believe, and the Cs are the ones that land like this. I've actually seen them land like this on a carrier, but they say they got a tail hook. And their original design, they didn't put a tail hook on it because the F-35 was too, how can I say this politely, too tender for a tail hook. Yeah, it didn't like it landed at 120 miles. I was scared I might rip the back of the plane off. Now they say they got a tail hook on them. I don't know what the difference is. They wanted to put the F-22 in carriers, but the Navy, the Air Force said no. Or not the Air Force, the government said no. What was that, Jay?
Well, the tail hook, they would have to reinforce the tail section. Otherwise, like you said, it would rip the tail section off in some of the prototypes.
Yeah, so I'd have to look and see how many F-35s there are. There's a few now. Overall, the U.S. Air Force has an ungodly amount of aircraft. When you look at China's, has like 50 more ships than we do. But when you look at the aircraft, we got like 5,000 or 10,000 more than they do. Even with the Russians, I mean, it's ridiculous.
No, regardless of the Air Force we have against them, just our forces alone, 60 years, 6 decades of combat readiness. Combat readiness, it's awesome.
Look, what was that? I'll find out for you, Jack. Let's see, how many jets does the U.S. military have? Well, I don't want to just put the Air Force because, wouldn't be correct. Well, no, because the Navy has airplanes too. And they lying bastards about how many airplanes can fit on their decks. I can prove how many fit on a Nimitz. I just don't want to get my ass in trouble because it's still in operations.
Yeah.
Well, when it was retiring, I could say whatever I wanted to, but now all of a sudden we're reinforcing it and we're keeping it. It's going back into fleet operations. Fuck if I know. No, I'm not giving you my name to find out how many ships you have. Fuck you. That's the Navy asked me that. Let's see. Let's see what we got. This is Wiki. So what's Wiki say we got? It's not going to give me a name. It's just going to tell me what kind of planes they are. I mean, no numbers. Sometimes I just wonder if these people are on fucking crack.
Yeah.
Well, we got all kind of planes, but we're more interested in how many fighter jets we got.
Hey, Google, how many fighter jets does the U.S.
Here we go. Here we go. What we got here.
They say types of U.S. military aircraft. The second largest group of United States military aircraft is classified as fighter attack. This group includes more than
Hey, Google, stop.
3,400.
That's not what I asked.
Well, I think she was going to give you the number. Let's see. That's supposed to be the number here. U.S. Navy Marine Corps. We don't care about all of that. The FC Lightning, the Hawkeyes. No, that's not what we're looking for. You know, the internet is becoming stupid.
Well,
I'm noticing
I
the last
agree.
elect or something. It's like it's just stupid. It's like, oh, I don't know. Let's see. 2,500,
It's
3,500.
dumbed down everybody, including itself.
So that's 7,000, 10,000, 13,000. Looks like it's over 15,000. F-31As we have 300. F-15s we have 2. We have more than 200 F-15s. Jesus, who put this crap up here? F-22As we have 200. F-15Cs. Oh, okay, that's why it said that. All right, now I see what it's doing. It's breaking it down by its number. You know, like if it's they got the F-15, but there's like 5 different styles of the F-15C. Okay, now I see what.
A, B, and C.
Yeah, and same thing with the fighters. I still ain't seen the F-22 in here anywhere.
Let me try to Google again. Hey,
Yes.
Google, how many jet fighters does the U.S. military own?
According to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, as of 2020, the service operates approximately 5,500 military aircraft and approximately 400 ICBMs.
There you go.
Well, that ain't even close to it. We know they got more than 400 ICBMs there. What last check we had?
That's
was
wrong. But it's
2,500.
probably more than 5,500 jet fighters too.
Well, I'm on some crazy list that's got us somewhere around 18,000, but it's got all kind of shit on here: fighter trainers, special trainers, other fighter trainers, crew trainers, all kind of stupid shit. I don't know what all this trainer shit's about. T-38 AC, not even sure what that is. T6 F-16s, F-16 trainers alone, we have 300.
Jeez.
Yeah, so how many of them we actually have?
Here, though, but it can still be used.
Oh wait, look, Canada's got jets. They got the UV-18V. They got 3 of them. Germany's got 20 of them, and Switzerland's got 30 of them. Don't ask me, man. You ask a simple question, you get a moronic answer.
Yep.
So wait, we'll just go down the list here and see what it says. Let's see. So, all right, we have 4,000 ready jets on the ground. Another 2,500 available, 80% readiness. Another 3,500 with 70% readiness. Another 3,700 with 75% readiness. So 3, 6, 8, 9, 13, 14,000 jets ready to fly. These are all fighters, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't start a war with us. You're going to get your ass kicked.
That's not a good idea.
That's not bombers or anything else. And that's only the Air Force, by the way. It's not got the Navy or the Marines on there. So fuck. We got a shitload of airplanes. That's what. I know a while back we had read this thing that said total armed forces were somewhere around 30,000, and I was like, I think it was like 28 something. I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's but you never know when you say jets, because that's what I said. I said fighter. I said U.S. jet. They just got jet after kind of jet after kind of jet on here.
We did. I mean, over the years from 40, when did we start jet power? 45, 46, 47. Since then, we've had how many different,
class of fighters in there.
chassis, or airframes rather.
Well, I know we got F-18s flying out to Yin Yang. The F-14 Tomcat, as far as I know, was retired in the U.S. It wasn't retired worldwide, but it was retired in the U.S. And somebody the other day was arguing which plane is better, the F-15 or the F-14. The F-14 probably is because it has swept wings. It's the exact same plane except for the wings.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. The F-14 has a little bit more thrust power because of taking off on a carrier. So it's a little bit faster, and it has swept wings, which allows you to go ballistic. But other than that, the two jets are pretty much identical. Because I know the first time I ever seen an F-15, I was like, what's that Tomcat doing in the Air Force? And then a guy said, no, that's an F-15, dumbass. I'm like, oh, okay, what's that? He said, it's the F-14 made for the Air Force.
Down.
But, well, people like, A-10 Warthogs, how many of them we got? F-15s, A-10s. I mean, we got all kind of shit. F-35s. They didn't even, matter of fact, none of these lists I looked at listed the F-22. None of them.
Really?
Yeah, not one of them. It's like it's a secret. Let me tell you something, people, you're listening. It's not a secret. We know about it.
It's been released, but then how come there's no,
Every time I look up, it says we have 187, 186 because one of them crashed. I'm thinking, okay, 186 F-22s is badass, but that's not enough to get in a war. Well, I guess it's enough to keep people from invading our country. What's that, Jim?
Well, I mean, if you have the best spy equipment on the planet, you want to find out what your enemy's doing, you steal their best spy equipment. Yeah.
Well, see, the F-22 is not allowed to be sold abroad. It's not even allowed to be flown abroad. So we sell F-35s to everybody and their fucking mama, but the plane that's better, we won't sell to anybody. You figure it out. Why won't we release the F-22? Why is it only kept in this country? Why was there a limited amount made? Why is it every time it fights an F-35, it kicks its ass? You got to ask those kind of questions. What the hell? What is this plane made out of that we don't want to share with anybody? Anybody, not even the Brits, who are like our best buddies on the planet. We won't even share it with them.
Well, they're calling them meta materials, and what's her name? Linda Moulton Howe had some strange material sent to her, and then her and Giorgio met up with another dude that had almost identical artifacts as to what Linda Moulton Howe had, and they took them all to somewhere to test them, and it came out that it was like these weird elements that wouldn't normally be found together, like bismuth and mica, and they have no idea where they came from with there, but that's the U.S. government, the U.S. military took some of those pieces from these two people and said that we're going to research this, and it would not be surprised that they have something very, very extremely exotic that you can shine a flashlight on and you wouldn't be able to see it, dead with your naked eye.
Okay. I don't know. It's crazy. Hold on, I gotta send.
The U.S. government probably has some extremely weird, exotic technology that they just don't want to give up.
See, my thing is if they let somebody like Linda Moulton Howe have it, should be in prison.
No. They took some from her that she like someone sent to her, and they use it to test and I guess figure out how to reactivate that stuff as a real metal, and then use it for a fighter plane skin.
See what the fuck thing? I just want to write to this guy. It's I'd have I still got a hard time believing that. It's Linda Moulton Howe is the most idiotified person I've ever met in my entire life. It's and everything she does, she steals from somebody.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, she was the one who went on Ancient Aliens talking about the blood type study. 3 years after I was on Ancient Aliens. As a matter of fact, I was on the show with her. Yeah, my point exactly. Yeah. And the cattle mutilations, I blew out the water. She hates my guts for that. What's that, Jenny? Real quick, because we got like 5 minutes. We'll talk about it more tomorrow, but Linda Moulton Howe ran around for a decade telling everybody aliens were mutilating cows.
Which is wrong. The government's mutilating cows. And they're doing so to find out how far the radiation is spread from Area 51.
So when you look, it's not just there, but when you look at where the cattle are taken, you'll notice it's different areas where we had tested nuclear weapons back in the day. You'll also note that there's really no cattle mutilations east of the Mississippi River. Even though there was 1 or 2 detonations past east of the Mississippi River, There's no cattle mutilations east of the Mississippi River. You will also notice these were on ranches, not on little people, and that the cows were what? They were what? They were insured. I don't think the ET gives a shit if your cows are insured. More than that, there was also sled marks found, but the pieces of meat that were removed from the cow were where radiation would accumulate the fastest. And more so than that, she's always talking about, we don't have the skill to take the blood out. We have been having the skill to suck blood out of somebody in under 2 minutes since the 60s. It's called a vacuum pump.
Yeah.
I don't know where she got that bullshit from, really. Today I could vacuum pump all your blood out in probably about 25 seconds. Yeah, it's serious technology. Most of the places there were sled marks on. There was no real ETs. There was just no aliens present. No one's seen them. And what kicked me off was the fact that the cows were insured. Every rancher I talked to, the cow was insured. So the only reason, let's say if you're an alien, you come take the cow for whatever reason, why would you put it back? Why would you even risk hanging around that long to be seen to put it back? If you're an alien, just take it off, drop it off somewhere. But the government did it because the government needed to see if that radiation had spread anywhere. It was an easy way to do it. You blame it on extraterrestrials. You take all the parts you need. You find it out. You leave the cow so the rancher gets his money.
Yeah. You have to leave the identifying tags and marks, or it doesn't work.
Or it doesn't work. So that's exactly what they did. And that way, the ranchers didn't make a big stink about it. Oh, they said it was some animals or something like that. And they didn't make a big stink about it because they collect their money on their cow.
Yeah, they're not losing anything really. And the wondering is why did they take certain parts? They take the lips, the tongue, and the mucous membranes of the face, the anus and genitals, and one or two items from inside, like just outside, they make an incision in the stomach, and I forget what those items are, but those items are where exactly the animal eats, and that's how the radiation would have gotten into the creature. So they check the mouth, the guts, and the ass end.
It wasn't rocket science to figure this out. She could have figured this out, but she wants to be famous ufologist. So that's why she did it the way she did it. Most of everything I've ever seen of hers was bullshit. I can't say everything because I haven't looked over everything she's had, but most of the stuff, and a lot of stuff she stole from other people. I know that personally because there was at least two things she stole from me. So, I always have issues with her. I'm not saying that, she might not got lucky and somebody might have gave her something somewhere down the line, because she is all over television and it is possible. Yeah. I don't want to rule it out just to say, hey, I'm ruling it out. Not what kind of researcher I am. But for the most part, it sounds like, No, we'll leave it at that. Before we go, I had seen the new CNN poll. The CNN SSR poll. Hold on, let me pop it up where I can see it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, this is only 2 minutes. We can play this right quick. Well, if I can find the, I couldn't find this. Oh, this must be old or something. This doesn't look right because it's on a different list. Maybe we can find it right quick just to look at it. It probably is older, but we're going to look at it anyway. Let's see. Share screen. Yeah, for some reason this looks old, but we're going to be nice because I got it up here already. Okay, where did it fucking go? Excuse my language, people. Jay makes me curse. I'm just telling you, that's what happened.
This morning, President Trump trying to turn the blame on, surprise, Democrats for the furor surrounding the failure of his DOJ head to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Trump is also blasting, though, some of his own fervent supporters for continuing to call for those documents to be
this is the one where they say only one.
Joining us now.
I remember this.
I guess the question is this whole saga with Epstein having any impact on Trump's approval rating overall when it comes to the grand old party?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this one surprised me a bit because of all these complaints online going after Trump and the Epstein files. You might think his approval ratings were going down, Republicans. If anything, They're going up. Republicans who approve of Trump, look at our CNN poll. The prior one, 86%. The one out this week, 88% were Republicans. How about Quinnipiac? The prior poll, 87% approve of Republicans. This week out, 90% were Republicans.
This woman
if
actually
anything,
wants to
Donald
just
Trump's approval
explode.
rating has gone up since this whole Epstein saga started. He is at the apex or close there too in terms of his popularity with Republican voters, Epstein files, complaints, or not.
You just proved that not everything online is real
Yes,
in real life.
Who knew?
Amazing.
Twitter and X are not reality.
Is there any reason that you can find that this hasn't taken hold and hurt him?
Yeah. I mean, on X, all you hear about is the Epstein files. But how about out in the real public? Republicans who said the top issue was Epstein case. The answer is one, and not 1%. One respondent. This was a great little finding that Ariel Edwards-Levy, who of course is part of our polling unit, found. Just one single Republican said that the nation's top problem is in fact the Epstein case. Not much of a surprise that therefore Donald Trump's rating has not suffered with Republicans because of the Epstein case. Because the bottom line is most Americans say it's not high up on their priority list.
It is with the conspiracy people, but not with anybody else. But we got to go, ladies and gentlemen. It is after midnight. It's past my bedtime.
1 o'clock here.
It's actually past my snack time. I need some snacks. Jay said he needs some snacks. You mean Sean? I don't know. You might be here tomorrow if he's feeling better. Yes. Oh, you mean what's his name? Yes, I can't talk about him, but no. But I hear he's got his own show these days. So go look for him. No, he's not allowed to be a guest either. Sorry. The big boss said, adios. No. How did she say it? No fucking way. I think that means no. Well, you know, I can't get into all of that because it's not something we can talk about. But yeah, I think you can find him out there. Sorry, guys. It's not something I can talk about. But anyway, on that note, we got to go before Jay turns into a pumpkin and I turn into an asshole. It's one of those things. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and News on the Flip Side. We appreciate y'all coming here every week and getting your news from a source that actually gives a shit. And, you know, our first hour is always hardcore news. It's always about what's going on and what may or not be going on tonight was pretty much Epstein and on the 2016 Russia stuff. It looks bad for a lot of Democrats on both of these scenes.
Oh, yeah.
So, but anyway, on that note, I want to thank you for hanging out. I will be here tomorrow at 4, as long as I'm feeling good, for the Arthur's Quill, and then we will be back for the chat
7:30.
at 6:30. And don't forget, we have a new show following the chat now. What's his name again? Asshole something? Not Sean Aslett. Sean Aslett. Something darkly. He'll be there. And we have a new show. Be sure to check him out as well. On that note, good night, and we will see y'all tomorrow. And don't get nobody pregnant, especially if it's an animal. Good night, everybody.